Sweden is a step closer to joining NATO now that the Turkish parliament has dropped its objections following years of delay.
Turkish Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee voted in favour of allowing Sweden to join the Western Military Alliance. Sweden's accession protocol will now need to be approved in the Turkish Parliament's General Assembly for the last stage of the legislative process in Turkey. Turkey is a NATO member and has delayed Sweden's entry into NATO for being too lenient towards certain groups that the government regards as a threat to the nation's security. Sweden has since taken steps to meet Turkish demands, including lifting restrictions on defence industry sales and amending anti-terrorism laws. I'm Karen Shamas.
The Eiffel Tower shut down to visitors today because of a strike over contract talks. Coincides with the Paris monument marking 100 years since the death of its creator, Gustave Eiffel. News and analysis, townhall.com. Democrat Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey wants his bribery trial delayed.
Prosecutors argued against the postponement a week after defense lawyers offered several reasons why they say a trial of the Democrat and co-defendants, including his wife, should be delayed. 4 defendants, including Menendez, had pleaded not guilty to a bribery conspiracy charge that alleges that Menendez and his wife accepted bribes of cash, gold bars, and a luxury car from 3 New Jersey businessmen who wanted the senator's help and influence over foreign affairs. The senator, his wife, and a 3rd defendant have also pleaded not guilty to a charge that they conspired to utilize the senator as an agent of the Egyptian government, even though he was prohibited from doing so as a member of Congress. Bill Alexander, Washington.
Surf's up in Hawaii. Back to high surf warning posted for some Hawaiian shores. National Weather Service says that some of the north shores could see waves of up to 30 feet. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of the world now is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody. It is Wednesday. I know you don't realize it. You're not even sure what day of the week it is, probably, especially if you're not working this week. You have no clue, but today is Wednesday. Monday was Christmas. Yesterday was the day after Christmas. Today is the day after Christmas. And a work day for some. So, happy day after Christmas, everybody. My wife, Kim, hanging out with me today. She's a teacher, so she's off all week. But she gets to hang out and be a part of the show today. But
Yes.
Definitely welcome for those hitting the salt mine and working this morning. I'm with you. We're right here, too. Hey, for those that do get to enjoy the week off, today is day 1 of the Pocorn and Goddard holiday basketball tournaments. They are going on today at the Goddard Ground Zero at the gym there and at the Roswell Coyote Den, respectively, today. There'll be games going on all day. We will have the games for you on the video, not here on the radio, but on the video. If you go to ksvptv.com, and you'll just be right there. First thing on the front of the page will be the 2 different channels for the Pocorn and Goddard holiday tournaments. One channel will be all the games taking place at Ground Zero, which that tournament, let's see, Alamogordo versus Lovington. That broadcast will start at 1 o'clock today. And then on the other channel, we'll have Dexter versus Albuquerque Academy. That is also at 1 o'clock today. One will be on the one channel, one will be on the other. Now, we only will have announcers for the Artesia, Goddard, and Roswell broadcasts. We will have live streaming video of all the games, but they'll just be a video for the games that don't involve Artesia, Goddard, or Roswell. For those, we will have announcers for. Those will be later in the day, this evening, games there. But all the other games will be on the video, just not announcers, which some people are like, thank goodness. Some people are like, I like hearing our guys. But, when you get to some of the other stuff, I don't need to hear all their thinking. So
I just like hearing shoes squeak on the court.
Well, you'll get ample squeakitude with
it's my ASMR.
Yeah. Is that still popular, by the way, the ASMR stuff?
It's not like as popular, but it's still a thing.
Yeah, I never got that. Like, I mean, it's funny for a minute, but if you're obsessed with, my wife's looking at me like, what's ASMR? ASMR is, if for folks who don't know, this is like you ever watch those videos of people like opening stuff or drinking things or eating things, and it's not so much about the visual, it's about the audio. And so they'll like drink it, and it'll be like, you'll hear like the top open, you hear psh, psh, and then you hear like, oh, and that's ASMR. They love that, all those noises and everything. It's to focus on the sound.
Usually, it's a way for people to just go to sleep.
Yeah,
that's what it's used for.
Yeah, I think the useful version of it is like your white noise and that kind of stuff to get you to fall asleep.
Yeah.
The people that think they can make money off this are the people that are like, hey, I know if you get videos of me eating cake, but I'll do it real loudly, I can make millions of dollars. And
they spend money on it too.
Some idiots will pay money for that.
Like they will spend like this specific binaural microphone, which is like, it looks like two ears sticking out of it. And they'll like rub one ear and then rub the other ear, and then it'll like tune to the left earphone or the right earphone of your headset.
That's virtual creepiness right
and
there.
It's well, yeah, that's what they pay money for it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're leading to, fake everything. So, but happy post-Christmas, everybody. Now that we know what ASMR is. But yes, Pocorn Tournament, Goddard Invitational. That's all holiday tournament. That's going on starting today through Friday. It'll be 3 full days of basketball action for you at both the Roswell High Gym and at Ground Zero at Goddard. Get out there. Tickets, they got passes for all of it. So if you want to go out there, and that's what I recommend. If you're here in town and you're looking for, go out to the Coyote Gym or the Goddard Rocket Gym and just watch basketball all day. And the Optimists do an amazing job of hosting that event every year, and it's a lot of fun. So, and the Pocorn is one of the oldest and most prestigious tournaments in the state. So, and it's right here in Roswell. So, day one, all that kicks off today. We have the games for you, ksvptv.com. Just click on the respective channels when you get to the page. It's right there. So,
you said for those who have a week off, that kind of reminded me of what I was thinking of when I suggest that people should have a week off after Christmas.
Ain't no going to argue with me. I'm a worker bee. Yeah, show up no week off. Yeah, that's what I want. Absolutely.
Up until New Year's,
Well, a lot of people do. But, as a business, you can't do that. Take a whole week off, especially if you're the only one at the business. So that's not an option for many. But let's see. Pocorn, we got that. The Goddard Holiday Invitational Tournament. Sean is in Oklahoma with his family this week, so he'll be back with us next week.
Yes.
Here. Kim's going to hang out with us today and all that. So we do have a full slate for you. We got, I'll tell you about my Christmas too. I haven't even gotten into that. I haven't talked about Christmas or anything like that. My Christmas wasn't
unexpected.
Yeah, mine wasn't
unexpected.
Mine wasn't as fun as everybody else's.
Yeah.
But we're going to replay our interview with Juanita Jennings this hour. She talked about some sign-ups at stuff going on at the rec center and all that. So we're going to play that interview some point this hour. In the 8 o'clock hour today, we're going to have artist Greg Birch join us. Of course, Greg's been on several times. For those watching the video, you can see some of his work in the corner here. My awesome Metallica painting and the two other really sweet paintings he did for me. Of course, he did one for Roy there too. Did a couple for Sean as well too. And he's an amazing artist. But he's got some his artwork. He's got a couple contests and things he's involved with, and his art showing up in various other places. So he's going to give us an update on what he's got going on there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to have Ted Smith join us with American Legion Post 61. A little bit quiet right now. Just we're recruiting. We'll recap our holidays. We had Reese Across America. We did all that. We got as far as upcoming stuff goes. This one's not till February, but we do have our 4 chaplain ceremony. That'll be coming up in February. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We got some other news too, but we'll share that with everyone next month. That's not for this. None of that stuff that's American Legion Inside Baseball. But anyway, I'll tell you more about that next month. But anyway, so we'll get an update from Ted here in just a little bit. And then, of course, we'll have all of your other features that include the news of the local national variety, your Wall Street business update, and all that. So, but how was your Christmas, Roy?
It was okay.
Yeah?
I think I finally reached the age where I can't really ask for what I want for Christmas anymore from anybody.
You hit adulthood, Roy. Good job.
Or I can't even get what I want even if I ask for it. I got to get it myself or just clothes.
Yeah.
Those are the only options.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me have something smaller, but if you're like wishing for,
I've reached the clothes only age.
Ah, very good. You didn't know it. Well, I'm just gee whiz curious. Like, what's something that you would ask for that no one would buy you?
Like a video game.
Okay. Really? I mean, your sister or your dad or say, hey, give me the newest Call of Duty or whatever.
Well, and it's because everything's so expensive now. It's like I can't just ask somebody for a PS5 or.
Well, and to be
gaming
honest,
console, video game. Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing too, because the way games are nowadays.
Yeah.
Like they're not. I mean, I know they have discs and cartridges. Most people download all this stuff. So it's not like you have a cartridge to open Christmas Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we were kids, you get your Nintendo or PlayStation or whatever.
But you can't really buy someone else a digital copy of a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you could go to Walmart or Target or whatever, pick up whatever Mario Brothers games, the latest, and then wrap it up and throw it under a tree. You can't do that anymore.
Right.
So that changes things a little bit. Now it's like, what'd you get for Christmas? I got everything fit in the stocking because they're all cards for points towards whatever game or whatever it is.
Now, I'm not a gamer, so just out of curiosity, what do games run these days? I would have no clue.
I can tell you, but they're not cheap. Go ahead, Roy.
What do they run?
Yeah.
Well, they were like
I'm like back to the Nintendo Atari age,
They're like 100 gigabyte games now. Like
just to give her an instance, okay, if Grand Theft Auto 6 came out today.
Not that I would play that.
Right, but that's a new release game. What would they charge for that?
Well, there's a rumor that it's going to be like 60 or 70 on release.
Wow.
Okay.
There's a rumor that's going to be like 150 or something, but there's no evidence to back it up.
Well, they're just that's because that game didn't come out for another year.
70 range, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, 60, 70 for a new game.
They're going to 70. Right now, I think it says 60.
Yeah. But that's the thing with the games. Like 2 years from now, the game's free or like $2 because they always outdo it to up. Like you could get Madden 23 right now for like nothing.
Yes.
Yes. But Madden 24 is going to run you $70.
There are the free-to-play games, too, quote-unquote.
That's what I do.
The free-to-play, where it's you pay for the microtransactions and the DLC.
Oh, yeah,
and
those.
Stuff.
But, like, I have, because I play PC games. I don't have a PlayStation or any of that
And the loot
stuff.
boxes and stuff.
So I subscribe to things like Steam. And whatever EA's version of
the
that
Origin.
is. Yeah, Origin, thank you. And so, and basically, like, through that is you buy the game through a portal. Or, like with Origin, I have a membership where I pay $30 a year. And with that, I get a list of, like, a couple hundred games that I could, in essence, play for free. which is what I usually do because that'll like right now I'm playing Madden 23 because I can play it for free through that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll wait till the season's over and then I'll download Madden 24 and play. I'm not paying $70 for Madden 24.
Oh no.
Madden 23 is the same game except for the names are slightly different, and we added a new feature that allows you to spin to the left instead of to the right. Ooh, okay.
Oh, it's the same game for like 20 years.
Yeah. So like games like that, I sign up for the Origin deal and I pay $30 a year, and then I just download it when they tell me it's free. Now I could upgrade my package to like $60 and it'll let me play Madden 24 for free, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I rarely ever pay like full price for video games anymore.
But that's kind of how I play video games. I don't go to a store and say, there's Railroad Tycoon and get it. Yeah, I'm old. I know Railroad Tycoon. But anyway, I'm that guy that my video gaming ceased 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So I'm like in a hole where I play games that are like 20 years old, and that's what I play.
Yeah. But like they go down to like $40 too.
Yeah.
Mostly. And even then it's like asking somebody, hey, can you give me this $40 game? It's like,
Basically, if I pay for a game nowadays, it's like $10 or $5 or, because it's like XCOM UFO Defense from 30 years ago. So anyway, but.
Or it'd be a rare and expensive game that's.
Exactly.
That's like $100 now.
Yeah. Well, they still hit you with some of those Grand Theft Autos. They still charge you a bunch of money for and all that. But anyway. So you had a good Christmas.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Ours was going to be good. I mean, it was good for most people, just not for me. So
me and my dad got comic books, by the way.
Nice. You all collectors?
Yes.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So
he's more the collector, but he's gotten me into it too.
Well, you're just waiting for your dad to inherit the like, Dad, when you're out of here, those are mine. you get dibs on them? Dibs. I feel like Jocelyn doesn't want the comic books.
No.
But anyway,
I wouldn't know what to do with them either. Like I don't know what's what and
I think most collectors keep them in plastic and look at them and brag about them. That's pretty much.
I'd probably spend more trying to grade them and sell
then
them.
someone will offer you a crazy amount of money for them, and then you sit hem and haw, and then finally you part with them, and then you go live your life. That's comic book.
I'm waiting for one day where one of them ends up being $1 million in 40 years from now.
Well, let me know when you find it, because there'll be a stamp there and a Star Wars toy and a couple of Boba Fett with 3 heads or something be worth $1 million. But anyway, so for our Christmas, we were going to go to Ruidoso. Initially, we were going to go up Sunday and then hang out with family and then come back yesterday. But there was a few additions added, so that the house got very crowded up there. So we decided we were
rented an Airbnb.
Yeah.
We were going to gather there.
So we ended up just going to go up Monday for Christmas and do all that. Well, I woke up 1:00 in the morning. I guess it'd be Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Sicker than a dog. Just digestive issues. Some kind of stomach bug. And
that's fun.
Oh gosh, I was, and so we woke up 6 in the morning, whatever. Like
we were going to get an early start. We had kids waiting on us to open gifts.
So I was like, let me sleep in a little bit. I've been up sick, and then I wasn't getting any better. I started getting sick again, and then finally Kim said, just go to bed, and I went to bed, and Kim went to Ruidoso and spent the day with family, and I slept and puked. For Christmas. That was Tim went to Ruidoso. I had a good time. Had a nice time. Had lovely dinner and all that.
Yeah, it was nice visiting family.
And,
getting to see everybody.
And then I basically was in bed sleeping or watching whatever shows or whatever.
Did y'all go to a hotel or a cabin of some kind?
They had a cabin.
A cabin.
Yeah, they had a cabin up there that they'd stayed at.
I gotta get me a cabin in Ruidoso. It seems like everyone has one but me.
Well, it's nice up there. It's a nice little weekend getaway or something. If you get a.
Yeah.
Her folks used to live up there. So normally we didn't have to rent because they lived up there and we go, but they moved after they retired. They moved several places.
But they're now in Albuquerque. Yeah. Close to the grandchildren.
So, yeah. But
I usually end up staying at the Days Inn by the Walmart. And it's like up, you got to go up the hill, and it's just as nice.
Well, Kim and I we'll get like rooms up there for like anniversaries and stuff. But we'll stay at like one of the the fancier places, something like that. I don't know, usually, but if now, before we'd stay at her folks' place or whatever. But like occasionally, like we got a suite at the inn for an anniversary before the Hawthorne Suites. We do that kind of stuff up there. But anyway, so that was my Christmas. I was puking and sick, and so but good news was by Christmas night I was feeling like I could eat soup by then. I could eat soup, but and I felt a lot better yesterday. So, but that was my Christmas, sick. So, but you had a good time, right, Kim?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated you couldn't come with me. Everybody wished you
should have just puked on the way there, just like just pull over and then just.
Well, it was, and to be honest, since the house was kind of tiny. I'm kind of glad.
Well,
on the day I'm sick, I need private space.
If we had stayed there would have been a total of 9 people.
Yeah, I'm so
in
glad.
In this 3-bedroom house. The cabin was lovely, but it would have been a total of 9 people. So that's why Mike and I decided we'll just come down Christmas Day and spend time with them.
Plus, her sister had the big dogs and everything.
We had 3 German Shepherds.
They're very nice dogs. But when it's a smaller house and there's 9 people and you got 2 giant dogs that are quirky.
Everybody's walking over each other when I was there. So. There's a hot tub in the front
nice
porch. Yeah.
It's just I missed it all because I was sick.
Was it a flu or just like
I think it's just a stomach bug. I woke up. I was feeling a little bad around when I went to bed. I was feeling kind of. Okay. I figured I'd just sleep it off, and I started getting sick. Like I said, about 1, and then it was steady the rest of the night. So I think I wrapped up.
Yeah,
I think I wrapped up being sick around noon, 1 o'clock, and then slipped. So it's 7:25. I probably should get the hour going here to get our interview in. So Merry Christmas, everybody. But I did eat. I got some ham yesterday, and I got. Thank goodness they saved me a piece of chocolate sheet cake, which so I ate that yesterday for dessert. They made a big cake for Christmas, and they had Mexican food, and there was all brisket and ham and all kind of food. So there was tons of food. So I didn't eat any of it except for leftovers yesterday. So.
Brisket is the white man's menudo or pozole. Sorry,
just Texas.
No,
it's Texas's pozole. All right, it is 7:25. I better get the hour going here, so I got time to do everything. Let's do a quick update for weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape for the next few days. Cool high pressure moving in from the central Rockies, and that'll keep us in the mid-50s for the afternoon high today, but we should have plenty of sunshine, and the wind should stay light. Overnight will be clear and cold, dipping into the mid-20s, and then we're expecting low 50s for the high on Thursday. We get another sunny day, warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 50s, and then around 60 and sunny for the upcoming weekend.
Thank you, Steve. I was feeling like he didn't wrap it up. He just kind of ended there. Left me hanging. Currently 29 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. Winds are currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Sunday today, expect highs in the mid-50s, 54 for a high with north winds 5 to 10. Skies will be clear tonight. Overnight low of 25 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Thursday, sunny, 53 for a high. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low of 22 degrees. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 57 for a high. South winds at around northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Looking at your holiday weekend on Saturday, mostly sunny and 59 degrees. 26 for an overnight low Saturday night. Sunday for New Year's Eve. Sunny skies, a high near 60. New Year's Eve evening, mostly clear, overnight low of 25. And then New Year's Day, Monday, sunny skies with a high of 55 degrees. So looks like we're going to be in the mid-50s with lows in the mid-20s. That's kind of the MO here for the next several days. All right, it is 7:27. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had before Christmas there with Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director, talking about signups for stuff at the rec center and all kinds of places. So that's coming up next. Don't go away.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
In this joyous season of giving thanks and sharing love, Artesia General Hospital would like to say thank you. They are grateful for the privilege to serve you and your family and for the trust you place in their caregivers. It is an honor to serve the people of Southeast New Mexico. The entire team at Artesia General Hospital wishes you joy and health this holiday season. Artesia General Hospital, your destination for health, your partner for life.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Our lives run on energy. Every day. And every day, your friends and neighbors at New Mexico Gas Company safely deliver reliable, affordable, essential energy to New Mexicans. The kind of energy that brings families together, that surrounds us in comfort, the energy that warms homes and hearts. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and every day we deliver the energy that's behind some of the warmest moments in your life. That's why we're here.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he's from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Meredith Hildreth back with us, and Don Weld as well. Good morning. And good morning. It is 36 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell. Good morning. How are you? Ready for Christmas?
I am.
Good
I
deal.
am ready. Yes.
You got? Are you going anywhere? You got family coming? Or are you
I
just
am.
gonna?
It's our year to travel, so we're going back home. Well, I'm going back to my home.
Okay.
So
you have to get on a plane, or can you drive?
No, we drive. We drive.
Okay, good.
So
I don't know if I'd want to get on a plane after the holidays. Especially lately, with everybody's delayed. I'm like,
well, today is the biggest travel day of the year. So if you're flying out of the Roswell Air Center, just make sure you're there ahead of time.
Absolutely. Allow time.
Know what you can bring.
Good news is,
yes,
that's the easiest airport to fly in and out of.
It is,
TSA, all of that is so much hassle-free compared
Less
to,
hassle, more
say,
adventure.
Dallas or some other airport. Yeah. So.
Yep.
But that being said,
Yes.
we do have a lot going on here with
We
the
do.
city. Now that the kind of the Christmas holidays here, things shift a little bit to the winter stuff at the for as far as
Winter
recreation and activities,
and spring,
and for Roswell here. So, of course, as you saw, Juanita's got the new guide out. These just came out.
Yes.
Here recently, the new City of Roswell guide.
We launched them on Sunday through the Roswell Daily Record. So if you're a subscriber, you got an actual hard copy. But if you would like a hard copy for our winter and spring guide, you can pick them up at the Roswell Museum, at the Rec Center, at the Adult Center, at the library.
All the city,
at City
recreation
Hall.
facilities, basically.
All of our enrichment service places have it, but it's also online in a digital version and a component. And so it just really has pretty much everything that the enrichment services departments are participating in, or their programs and classes. So for right now, we have youth basketball going on at the Rec Center for ages 9 through 12.
Okay.
It's $45 per player.
Okay.
Registration ends on December 31st. So
And I always know they're always looking for refs and coaches.
they are.
So adults.
Mm-hmm.
looking for you to sign up too.
Yes, absolutely. And you'll register at roswellconnect.com.
Yes.
Make sure that you go online. If you don't have an account, you can create one. And then it kind of just keeps your account going for anything in the recreation area.
Yeah. That's the good if you want to know city resources like your water bill or city government or anything like that, roswell-nm.gov, that's that website.
Yes.
But if you want to know anything about the recreation side, stuff at the zoo, stuff at the museum, stuff at the Recreation Aquatic Center,
yes.
Tickets for events that are taking place, that Roswell Connect is the website that you wanted to go for all that. So bookmark and like both.
Yes.
And but if you want to say sign up, maybe you're going to give a membership for Christmas this year. You can do it through Roswell Connect.
Well, and here's the beauty. So Christmas is coming. If you still need a stocking stuffer or a last minute give the gift of experience.
Yeah.
So we have youth basketball registration is by December 31st. We also have swim lessons for adults and for children that will start on January 8th. So we have a great little certificate. They'll print it out for you. You can stick it in a stocking or you just give it, wrap it up in a present.
I hope some adults that don't know how to swim do it with their kids. Like I say, you know what? It's about time I learned to swim. I have a child now.
Yes.
I want them to know how to swim. You know what? We're going to take swim lessons together. I'm going to take the adult one. They're going to take the children's class.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to take it with a big group of people, we also have private lessons that are going to be available again starting on January 8th.
Okay.
You'll sign up.
So you could probably do that as a family if you set it up right there or how you want to do that. Sure. Good deal.
Absolutely. And so that'll be at the Aquatic Center. Again, those classes will start on January 8th. So you want to get registered by December 31st.
Please sign up for those. If you don't have families, it's just one of the skills that at some point in their life they're going to need. It's always good. Even if you're not into pools and water and all that, at least give your children and yourself the ability in case one day you might need to swim.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the other thing really quickly, the Holiday Artisan Market is currently going on at the Roswell Museum. It'll be running through December 30th. And so again, if you need a nice little stocking stuffer or a gift under the tree, please come and see them. They're open till 6 p.m.
And you'll find unique, one-of-a-kind
items.
Beautiful, artistic stuff. And the other cool thing is you get a chance to interact with the artists and things. So if you really like their stuff, you can get contacts and get future things from them as well, too.
Absolutely. And, man, they have some really amazing items. I was just really blown away by the talent that we have here in our community. And it's really beautiful, really beautiful and unique and different. And so that is at the Roswell Museum, and they are open till 6 p.m. Each day.
Okay.
And so please stop by. They will be closed, and this is a good segue into our holiday schedule for the city of Roswell. So our most offices are closed this coming Sunday, which is Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which also impacts trash service. So trash service will be a day later. So if your normal day is on Wednesday, it will now be on Thursday. We did post a holiday schedule on our Facebook page as well as on the government website, which is roswell-nm.gov. You can call the offices at 575-624-6700. They can give you a list, or you can look it up on the website or on Facebook.
Not only will you find the trash schedule there, but the Pecos Trails Transit, the bus schedule, all of that stuff. They'll be running special holiday hours next week as well, too.
Yes,
so
and then, of course, if you have a Christmas tree, you don't know what to do with it after Christmas, you can take it over to the sanitation department at the landfill and get it recycled. So.
Yeah, they got a thing. They'll be taking your trees and then come back later and pick up mulch.
Exactly.
Or you'll probably mulch there. You could probably do one trip.
Yeah, you do have to make sure that you don't have any like tinsel or lights or anything
take all
like
your,
that.
Yeah, all your decorations and stuff off. And it's live trees.
Yes.
Not
artificial trees.
We're talking live trees. If you have an artificial, put it back in the box and put it in the shed.
Yes.
But if it's a real tree, you can bring it down to the landfill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do have to say that.
I just want to throw it out there just in case.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you bought your tree from a tree stand and not from a box store or online, then you can bring it to the landfill.
Yes, absolutely. But again, a lot of information in the winter guide. Again, if you're thinking about adopting an animal at Animal Services, just remember it's a lifelong commitment. Most animals, if it's a dog, it's 12 to 14 years. A cat is anywhere between 14 and 20 years. And so they're like little people. You have to feed them, give them water, pick up after them.
They are a responsibility. They're amazing joy and a great addition to families, but they are a responsibility, just like children or anything else in your life. And you have to to be a responsible pet owner. And I always invite people, because the Animal Control and the Humane Society, they're right next door to each other. They're on East McGaffey. When you go into Animal Control and you walk through, and if none of the pets kind of speak to you, then walk right next door to the Humane Society. Either way, you're rescuing a pet. And I know those two work in concert all the time. So if there's some animals, some free spots over at the Humane Society, they'll bring some of the Animal Control over. But they do work with each other quite a bit. So please, either one of those facilities right next, you're helping to be a good pet owner. I will warn you, the Humane Society is a little more stringent on requirements to adopt. They're going to want to inspect yards and things like that.
Right.
But that's a good idea anyway. If you have a big dog and you need a fenced-in yard and things like that, Animal Control Animal Services is a little less stringent on that kind of thing. However, it's still important. Yes, and then there's something that's going to happen regardless.
Right.
The animals need to be spayed or neutered. And they have to be microchipped.
Yes, and that is really how to help the pet population here in Roswell. Make sure that you are spay and neutering your dog or cat, and when, especially like on windy days, we get a lot of calls because the gates run open. Well, if your dog is not spay or neutered and there goes your gate, that's just adding to the pet population.
Absolutely.
Problem
Next
that
thing
we
you
have.
know, they went on an adventure and
they did. So just make sure that you do that, and just know that it is a lifelong commitment.
Absolutely. So. But and I know the folks at Animal Services, they bust their hump wanting to make sure the best for their animals and things. But we as a community need to be better pet owners. There's a reason why we have overpopulation issues, and I'm sorry, the city ain't gonna fix it. The only way that's going to get fixed is we, the community, do something about it. We have to be good pet owners.
Absolutely.
When you see the puppy mills going on in the Walmart parking lot, report that stuff. That is illegal and is dangerous.
Yeah.
When you as a dog or cat owner spay your pets, neuter your pets. Keep them in fenced-in yards. If you have a cat owner, cats are indoor cats. Don't put them in. Let them roll the alleys. We have enough feral cats. Yes. It is. This is what we're. The only way we fix this is by you, me, and everybody else being good pet owners. That's the only way it's going to happen. So So please, and I'll also say this. I know a lot of people like to give the gifts of pets for Christmas. Through my experience and everyone else's, unless the person is on board with you picking the animal and all of that stuff, not a good idea. I get it. Sometimes you want to get a cat for grandma, but maybe grandma don't want a cat. Right. Or maybe that cat's not what grandma, you know what I mean?
Right,
And then guess what happens? 9 times out of 10, that animal ends right back up into Animal Services or the Humane Society or back in a facility here. So
absolutely.
Both facilities want to make sure that when they adopt a pet out, it's going for its forever home and it's going to live out its life in a happily ever after.
Yes.
And so we want to make sure that you guys are prepared for that. So
for sure.
Good deal. What else?
That's it. That's my quick info for today. So Winter Spring Guide online has a lot of information, different programs. Again, swim lessons, youth basketball registration. We have clay classes at the museum that will, again, start in January for kids and adults. We have stuff at the adult center like lapidary, stained glass. We have father-daughter dance coming up in February.
Annual tradition,
of course. Aerobics, private swim lessons, and then, of course, CDL drivers at our Roswell Transit. They are hiring. And so if you are looking for a new career in 2024, visit the website at roswell-nm.gov. And just a couple of know before you go, if you're riding the transit bus, on the very back page, stay connected with the city of Roswell. So lots of information on all of our programs.
For your Ebenezer Scrooges in your family that run around saying there's nothing to do in Roswell, go pick one of these up and slide it in their stocking this Christmas.
Yeah.
Then we say, there's nothing to do. Here's a whole book of nothing to do.
Yes. Here's a lot. Yeah. Our public affairs team works really hard on this, but gathering the information and putting together.
Of nothing to do in Roswell.
Absolutely. So stay connected with us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you as always, Juanita. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
And Happy New Year. It's going to be a great year.
Safe travels.
Yes.
And we look forward to talking to you in 2024.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
I know.
Did we just start this year like last week, it seems like?
Yeah, it's been a very long year.
Good deal. Maybe next month we'll do a year in review and some of the highlights that you from 2023.
Yeah, we had some good stuff in public affairs.
We had a lot of great things.
Really great things.
Well,
and good things overall at the city too.
Yeah,
so.
This city's always got some great stuff going.
Absolutely.
And sure, we're always not going to agree on everything, but at the end of the day, we got a good town. We have a great community, and we love to celebrate it and share it with people.
Absolutely.
So, good deal. As always, appreciate it, Juanita, and
Happy New Year.
See you in 2024.
Uh-huh.
All right, it is 8:49. Let's go ahead and pause for news and your Cowboys report. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
So fun.
Now. In another case, a trial got started Tuesday against a former oil field worker accused of killing his roommate in May of last year. Tevin Morissette is accused of killing Avery Weathers at the oil rig where the two lived. The first day of trial featured jury selection and opening statements. The first witness was a man who told police he witnessed the shooting. Morissette is facing 15 years in state prison if convicted for second-degree murder. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Another day, another huge car recall. Tesla just recalled 2 million vehicles to fix its autopilot system. Toyota, 1 million cars back for airbag problems. And Honda is dealing with a big one. 4.5 million cars recalled globally over a fuel pump problem. It's just one recall after another. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by NetSuite. Do more with less. Get NetSuite's KPI checklist absolutely free at netsuite.com/Kim. Every year, millions of recalled cars don't get the fixes they need. That's a lot of cars rolling around with major safety issues. How about an easy way to track if your car's recalled? Grab the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's free Safer Car app. Just add your vehicle, key in your VIN number, and include any extras like fancy car seats, upgraded infotainment systems, or special tires. If there is a recall on anything that you've listed, Safer Car will send you an alert. It's a great step to keep you in the know. Again, that's the Safer Car app. Just 4 days left to enter to win a new iPhone at commando.com/win. As your business grows, processes that used to take days start taking weeks to complete. That's why you should know these three numbers: 37,000, 25, 1. To start, 37,000 businesses have already upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. And this year is NetSuite's 25th anniversary. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less, close books in days, and drive down costs. And finally, the #1. Because your business is one of a kind, NetSuite offers customized solutions for all your KPIs in one efficient system. It's one source of truth to manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist designed to give you consistently excellent performance absolutely free at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim to get your own KPI checklist for free. netsuite.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape for the next few days. Cool high pressure moving in from the central Rockies, and that'll keep us in the mid-50s for the afternoon high today, but we should have plenty of sunshine and the wind should stay light. Overnight will be clear and cold, dipping into the mid-20s, and then we're expecting low 50s for the high on Thursday. We get another sunny day, warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 50s, and then around 60 and sunny for the upcoming weekend.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Both the Roswell and Goddard gyms will be full of basketball going on the next 3 days. It's the Poke Horn tournament for the boys and the Goddard girls basketball tournament on the girls' side, of course. The Goddard girls will be playing host to Belen today at 2:30. Goddard's 2-7. Belen is 4-3. Meanwhile, at the Roswell gym on the girls' side, Roswell Roswell will be taking on Artesia. The Coyotes are 6-2. Artesia's 4-2. That starts also at 2:30. For the guys, the Goddard boys are in need of a victory. They're 0-5 and will be taking on Kirtland Central, which is 2-6. That starts at 7:30. And the Roswell guys at 6-4 in the Poe Corn Tournament will be playing host to Piedra Vista, which is 1-5, also at 7:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. stocks advanced on Tuesday, extending an 8-week rally in the year's final week on expectations that the Federal Reserve will begin cutting interest rates as soon as March. U.S. retail sales rose 3.1% between November 1st and December 24th as shoppers look for last-minute Christmas deals amid big promotions. A MasterCard report showed on Tuesday the increase is lower than the 3.7% growth MasterCard forecast in September and last year's 7.6% rise as higher interest rates and inflation pressured consumer spending. Oil jumped 3% on Tuesday to its highest level this month, as further attacks on ships in the Red Sea prompted fears of shipping disruptions. Wall Street analysts are trimming their earnings estimates for Chevron, and employees are preparing for potential job cuts as a series of operational setbacks are poised to bleed into 2024. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Let's face it, guys. We're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's Aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at Aftermath.media. Again, that's Aftermath.media.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:50. By the way, that winter guide, the winter and spring guide that Juanita was talking about during her interview, it's this guide right here. If you go to any of the city facilities like the museum or the zoo or the recreation and aquatic center, any of that, you can pick up a copy of this. And it's got the full guide with all the upcoming events, things to do. Like if you want to learn about different events, like some cleanups that are going on, or any of the sports seasons, or any of the stuff going on at the adult center. All of that is in the guide here. So pick up a copy. It'll serve you well. A lot of good stuff going on in there. So good thing to have. Hey, so during my, when you're sick and everyone's away for Christmas, it's so when you're not sleeping, you get a chance to watch a lot of TV. So on Christmas Day, when I wasn't sleeping, I was kind of laying in the recliner and watching the telly. And so I was on my Amazon Prime over this time, and they you know how they give you suggestions on what to watch, on things to check out. Well, I was there. There was I got on Amazon Prime, and there's a list of movies that they think I would like and recommend for me. And so I was like, so I'm scrolling through to see, and a trailer came up for a movie that I have never heard of, and it's recent. It's a recent movie. It's an independent movie. It's matter of fact, from the trailer, it says from the people that created the Little Miss Sunshine movie. That was like a big hit independent movie about 10 years ago or so. It was a huge kind of a following there for a minute. Well, anyway, it's a movie that's from them, and it's another independent film, and it stars Ben Kingsley. And I'm like, oh, Ben Kingsley, he's a big time actor, and so I'm like, what is this movie? So the movie is called Jules, and I'm like, Jules, I've never heard of this movie, and I'm like, what is this about? But then I watched the trailer, and I still don't know what to think of this movie, but I want to see it. So my wife and I are going to go see it. To me, this movie is, the trailer for it is like E.T. meets Cocoon. That's the best I can describe this movie trailer that I saw. So my wife and I are going to watch this movie. But it's called Jules, and it stars Ben Kingsley, Sir Ben Kingsley. And so the premise of this movie, him and his wife are a retired couple. They live an atypical life. They live in their home. They got their, he's retired. He's got his garden. He's doing, he's living his retired life. And apparently, but he's one of these guys that I guess because he's retired, so he goes to all the city council meetings to tell city council, like, what's wrong with the sidewalk here. And so, like, that's the premise. This guy, he's one of these guys that's kind of, he's involved and kind of almost to the point where he's a little bit of a thorn in a lot of people's side. Well, anyway, he's at the city council meeting telling about it, and he goes, and then, by the way, I had an alien crash, and that might have caused some problem. And so basically the premise of the movie, you think it's about this guy's life, and it's really this man has an alien crash in his backyard and becomes friends with the alien, him and his wife, and I'm guessing some other inner circle family members or something. And so the movie goes from this guy to now he's got a friend who kind of looks like Powder. Like, if you ever saw the movie Powder back in the 90s, it's like that, but a short kid version. And so he's like blue like Powder, but what's that whitish blue color it's same kind of deal. But anyway, so Powder, so Ben Kingsley's basically, and so it's like E.T. where they're trying to help the guy or whatever, but then the government finds out. And so now the government's so he's trying to protect him like E.T.
Yeah.
So I think this is like Cocoon meets E.T. And it
has that feel. It really does.
And I know I'm talking about the movie, and it sounds like, this is some weird science fiction movie, but it doesn't film or look that way. It looks like a family, like Forrest Gumpy kind of movie.
Yeah.
But it's aliens and E.T. So it's
kind of family movie like E.T. was.
If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free. I haven't, like I said, Kim and I haven't watched it. We'll pick it up this week sometime and watch it. But it's called Jules, and I think it might be good. Like, I'm not telling you if it's good because I haven't seen it. I just seen the trailer. But it just came out of left field on me, and I'm like, I need to look when this movie came out. If it's brand new, I think it is. I think it's an independent movie that went right to video or something. And Ben Kingsley's passed, hasn't he?
I don't know.
I have to look that up. That's where Sean would be handy. He always looks these up for me and these things. But I think Ben Kingsley's passed.
I'm not sure. Look up.
I think he's passed away. Has Ben Kingsley died? Or he's still alive? Okay. Have you heard of the movie Jules? Yeah. Well, I just thought maybe he died within the last year. But maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, have you heard of? There's a movie on Prime called Jules with Ben Kingsley, and it's basically Cocoon meets E.T. Have you seen this movie or seen trailers for it?
I remember you talking to me about Cocoon.
Oh, okay. Then that's not a useful reference to you. So the premise of the movie is Ben Kingsley's this old guy's retired with his wife, and he's living in a small town, and he always goes to city council meetings and tells them what's wrong with the city and all that. But apparently an alien crashes in his yard, and he protects the alien, and the alien becomes friends with him, and basically then the government finds out there's an alien and want to do what the government does, and so the whole premise is him trying to help the alien. So it sounds like E.T. meets Cocoon. But it's E.T. with old people. It's that little kid, Elliot. We got Ben Kingsley, basically.
What, Ben Kingsley's the alien?
No, he's the old man that helps the alien.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Have you heard of this movie? I had never heard of it. I thought you're younger and in touch with movies. I thought maybe this one. Remember the movie Little Miss Sunshine that came out like in the early 2000s? It was an independent movie that was a huge hit. Like it had what's his name? I can't remember his name. Shoot.
From what movie again?
What's his name? Damn. Oh.
What movie are you talking about?
Oh, he's been in a bunch of movies. He's I can't remember his name. I'm supposed to have them come into it.
I can't read your mind. I can't help you there.
Yeah, it's he was Bruce Almighty. Not Bruce, not Carrie, but the other guy.
Then I don't know.
You know who he is.
I can't picture.
They made a spin-off movie.
It's been so long since I've seen
There was Bruce
that.
Almighty, and then Evan Almighty was the other one. The guy played Evan Baxter, and he plays Brick and Anchorman. That guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't know the names. Yeah.
I'm
a bad person to ask
just went
on
right
this.
out of my head, so we'll fix that. So I'm gonna have to look it up.
Just continue talking. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Well, but anyway, that was the movie Little Miss Sunshine. He starred in that movie, and it was like a hit that wasn't a hit, and it became a hit. But anyway, Jules, the people did that Little Miss Sunshine movie, did this movie, and it's actually pretty good, and it's worth checking out. So.
Okay, Anchorman cast: Will Ferrell, Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Paul
That's what I was
Rudd.
trying to mention. Steve Carell. I could not. Steve Carell
The
starred in
lampshade guy.
Yeah, he starred in Little Miss Sunshine. I can't remember his name. I couldn't remember his name for the life of me. But that's the guy. So, but if you're looking for a movie, if you're off this week, and you have Amazon Prime, and you're looking for a movie that might be good, this might be good. I don't know. I haven't seen it myself. I watched the trailers. The trailer was enough to say, I got to see what's going on with this movie. So we'll watch it. But I think it might be good. I think it's gonna be an interesting movie. Either that or it's gonna be the dumbest thing ever. But I can't imagine it's not. I think it's gonna be good.
We'll give a report back after we watch it.
There we go. All right, it is closing at 8 o'clock. I just remember to have another guest in, so we're gonna have Greg Birch. We're also gonna have Chris Whipperman talking about his big show at the Liberty on the 29th here, a couple days too. So we'll have all of that next hour. And then, of course, Town Hall News is coming up here in just a few minutes. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll have Ted Smith join us from American Legion Post 61 as well, too. So all of that and more next hour. Don't go away. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Please, por favor, do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Step by step, they're getting closer. The year's largest migrant caravan, about 6,000 people, continuing its trek north across Mexico, intent on reaching the U.S. border. This comes as two high-ranking Biden administration officials arrive in Mexico. Secretary of State Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas will meet with Mexican President Obrador for talks about the migrant crisis. And it's not only Central and South Americans who have illegally entered the U.S. An estimated 7,000 Russians and tens of thousands of Chinese are now here as well. U.S. missiles have hit more rebel targets in Iraq. Payback for missile and drone attacks on American forces in the region. Attacks launched by Iran-backed rebel groups. There have been scores of such attacks since the start of the war in Gaza. And Israel's military says it has expanded its ground offensive in the Gaza Strip to include densely populated urban refugee camps in the central part of the territory.
Residents of 3 camps reported shelling and airstrikes. They are crowded with Palestinians who fled northern Gaza in the early stages of Israel's ground offensive. The camps are built-up towns that hold Palestinians whose families fled or were driven from their homes in what is now Israel during the 1948 war surrounding Israel's independence. According to the Palestinian health minister, more than 20,900 Palestinians, 2/3 of them women and children, have been killed since the start of the war. It began after about 1,200 people were killed after Hamas raided southern Israel on October 7th. I'm Norman Hall.
The White House acknowledging concern about reports from the International Atomic Energy Agency that Iran is stepping up its drive to develop nuclear weapons by increasing production of highly enriched uranium. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 38 points, the Nasdaq 27 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A former Dutch deputy prime minister has been appointed United Nations coordinator for humanitarian aid to Gaza.
The UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has said that the Netherlands' outgoing finance minister and Middle East expert brings a wealth of experience to the newly created post. The United States welcomed Ms. Kage's appointment. A State Department spokesperson said the Biden administration looked forward to working closely with her to accelerate the provision of life-saving humanitarian relief to Palestinian civilians in Gaza. But an Israeli official, Eilon Levy, warned that his government would not work with any United Nations officials who support what he called Hamas propaganda.
The BBC's Youssef Taha. China banning a U.S. research company and 2 analysts who have reported extensively on claims of human rights abuses against Uyghurs and other Muslim minority groups native to the country's northwest. News and analysis at townhall.com. Well, looks like it's been a green Christmas season for many of the nation's retailers.
Holiday sales rose this year and spending remained resilient during the shopping season. That's even as Americans deal with higher prices in some areas. According to MasterCard's Spending Pulse, holiday sales from the beginning of November through Christmas Eve climbed just over 3%. Now that's slower than the 7.6% increase from a year ago, which was quite the surge in spending. This year's sales are more in line with what is typical during the holiday season. Online sales jumped 6.3% from a year ago, and in-person spending rose a modest 2.2%. I'm Shelley Adler.
The financial markets will be watching closely today when the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond releases its monthly manufacturing activity index. Analysts not expecting to see an expansion of the manufacturing sector this month. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Roy. Sean is on holiday still. He's in Oklahoma with family. So Roy is on the deuces and traces today. So happy middle of the Christmas New Year's week here. Happy Wednesday, too. Hope all of you are having a wonderful time. For those that are enjoying the time off, hope it's going very well with you. If you are off this week, and you're looking for things to do, day one of the Poke-Horn Tournament and the Goddard Holiday Invitational Tournament are today. They get underway, both Ground Zero, the Goddard Gym, and the Coyote Den in Roswell. They're going to be filled to capacity with games all day. I think they start playing at 1 o'clock today. Actually, I was looking at the first game for today. On one channel, it'll be Dexter versus Albuquerque Academy, and then Alamogordo versus Lovington. Those are 1 o'clock games on both channels. One on one channel, one on the other. And then now we'll have video of all the games at the tournament. We're only going to have announcers for the Artesia, Roswell, and Goddard games. If you want to watch the others, you'll just as Roy said, you get to hear the sneaker squeaks and all that good stuff, but you get to watch the game and all that. You just won't have the interjecting thoughts of a talking head to do that game. So, but we'll have those for you. But like I said, get to the gym. The Optimists do an amazing job of hosting this event. This tournament. Poke-Horn is one of the oldest in the state, one of the most prestigious tournaments in the state. It's a big deal. So if you get a chance if you have time to get out there and watch some great basketball, they got all week passes. So if you just want to pay once and then show up to pick and choose the games or hang out all day, whatever you want to do, they got you covered. But if you can't, or tell your out-of-town friends and family, KSVPTV.com will have all the games starting at 1 o'clock today, and they'll go through Friday. They'll play games all day tomorrow and all day Friday, and then done Friday. So it's a prestigious tournament, but it's kind of a fast pace because they got to get it in and done before New Year's. So it happens fast and furious. But that starts today at the Coyote Den and at Ground Zero there. Let me give you the rundown. We got a full hour for you. Greg Birch is going to join us here in just a few. He's got a painting to update us on here and some other things to talk about. And then right after that, we're going to have Chris Whipperman join us talking about their Radio Razzle Dazzle show that's going to be happening here the 29th later this week, Friday night at the Liberty Inc. It is a fun radio play, and what it is if you guys, and this is, ask your grandparents if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but back before television was a thing, they used to do radio shows, just like your television shows, but they were radio shows, and they had a whole cast of people, and they had what's called Foley, which is sound effects. So they had a guy, if they want to simulate a guy walking walking down the street, they'll have a pair of shoes and they'll have some concrete and they'll make it do, or, they'll, oh, we need a train whistle in the background. Woo! So this play is a comedy of a group trying to pull off a radio show. And of course things don't go according to plan and the Foley doesn't work right. And this does, and so the comedy ensues. So we'll talk about that play with here in just after we're done talking with Greg, and we'll talk about that. But you can get your tickets at the Liberty Inc. right now for Radio Razzle Dazzle. It's going to be a fun night paired with dinner. I was looking at your dinner options. It's roast beef, slow pot roast. That's what I meant to say, not roast beef, pot roast, and chicken a la king. Is there an a la queen? Can you I always heard chicken a la king, but is there the rest of the royal family? Can I get chicken a la prince or chicken a la chicken? Yeah, maybe his one's chicken a la jester. It's just raw chicken. I don't know, but it's the a la king, which I don't think it goes higher than a la king. There's not a la bishop or something. I don't know. I got to go back and watch Three Musketeers to check the hierarchy here, but. But anyway, we'll talk about that here in just a bit. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date with the weather. We're going to take a quick break, and then on the other side, we're going to talk with Greg Birch here, and we'll see what he's up to. And we got a few shenanigans in store for that, too. So we'll be back here on the other side of weather and news. Don't go, or weather and commercials. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape for the next few days. Cool high pressure moving in from the central Rockies, and that'll keep us in the mid-50s for the afternoon high today, but we should have plenty of sunshine and the wind should stay light. Overnight will be clear and cold, dipping into the mid-20s, and then we're expecting low 50s for the high on Thursday. We get another sunny day, warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 50s and then around 60 and sunny for the upcoming weekend.
Listen, fellas, I'm about to give you the skinny. Are you tired of not having anything fun to do to celebrate the new year with your gal? Well, here's the scoop. Friday, December 29th, the Liberty is hosting an evening of dinner and a show called Radio Razzle Dazzle. The show is set on New Year's Eve 1940 in a radio studio where you get to watch a live radio play being performed. However, the scripts are missing and the cast and crew have passed out or eloped and the sound effects machine is broken. So you'll get to watch and see if the remaining cast can pull off the radio event of the year. I hear it's a real gasser. This will make a perfect holiday date night for you and your gal. So ring in the new year in style by joining us at the Liberty Friday, December 29th for Radio Razzle Dazzle. Check out thelibertyinc.com for tickets. Brought to you by MW Entertainment and 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
Roswell Nissan's deal days are here, and that means the most wonderful deal of the year. Rates as low as 0% for 60 months for qualified buyers, 10 grand off new Armadas, 13 grand off new Titans, and top dollar for your trade. And with the largest selections of new and pre-owned inventory in the state, Roswell Nissan has what you need priced to move. With payments as low as $175 a month on quality pre-owned vehicles and a team of experts ready to make it the most wonderful deal of the year, hurry to Roswell Nissan now before the deal is gone. Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production. Dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
If you suffer from poganophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, or back in studio this morning, artist Greg Birch back with us. Good morning, Greg. How are you doing today?
All right, sir. And how about you?
As always, appreciate the visit. How was your Christmas holiday? Did you have a good holiday with family or doing anything exciting?
Not too bad. Not too
bad. Good deal. What's I'm curious. What's the? Because you're a food guy. I know you love your food as much as I love my food. What's the Christmas meal consist of in the Birch household?
Prime rib.
Can't go wrong with the prime rib.
No, sir.
You cook it yourself or have someone else do it?
No, I do it.
I
do it.
Nice.
This one this year was awesome.
Good deal. So you go horseradish au jus or what's
Nah. Basically, it's a garlic butter.
Okay. Nice.
You can't go wrong with that on the prime rib.
I'm one of those people, I can eat prime rib without any of that stuff. But if you give it to me, I'll use it.
Well, that's the deal, you know. Whenever it's a choice meat, how do you go wrong?
Yeah. I came from a land when I was a little kid. I was the ketchup on the steak guy, but I was a kid, right? You're allowed to. It's when you're a grown man that you got to stop doing that stuff. So
now there is
Trump.
a secret to that prime rib too, that was handed down, and of course this comes from a couple of restaurants over in Paris, but they like to inject red wine on one side and a white wine on the other side.
Okay,
into the meat.
All right,
a meat injection.
I
haven't tried it, but I'd love to.
Hey, I've had other food with wines in it, and I found it very delicious. So why would that be any different? So,
and what they basically say is that the wine won't cook off like a beer, or anything like that does.
Gotcha. That aging process or something kind of gives it muscles or something. I don't know, but for folks not familiar, Greg has been on the show multiple times. He has given me multiple paintings here, including the Metallica one that got a little run here with the band itself and all that.
Still is.
And still getting a run with that. Of course, did some beautiful work for Sean with his daughter and him, and Roy as well too. Of course, Man's also got paintings in like the Cowboy Hall of Fame and a few other museums and places like that around the country. And you're kind of involved in another one of those kind of deals here with this painting, right?
Yes, and we're still in talks on this one because there's lots of stuff that's going down here at the end of the year.
Okay.
Fundings and stuff like that for museums.
Okay. Well, there's always red tape.
Yes.
But for folks that aren't watching the video, Greg has bought one of his latest works in. He's always got 60 paintings going, but this is one that's got a little. And so talk a little bit. This is actually for a historical deal. Old Ironsides. I think most people in history are at least aware of Old Ironsides and know what the significance behind that ship.
Well, I hope they do. This ship, whenever I started this painting, this thing was like 90% done.
Okay.
And
this before the thing came on your radar.
Yeah.
It was just coincidentally you were doing this when this came up. Got it.
And I had requested some information from the National Archives, and stuff like that. Nothing had came through. And, the ship had went through like 5 restorations during its life. And it was, whenever it was just in the harbor, this whole upper deck was just a housing quarter for the...
It was missing all of the...
all of that. All the
upper
cells,
infrastructure. Yeah.
Everything. So I didn't want to do that painting of it. So that was...
Yeah, because everyone be asking, what's that? They think it's one of the ironclads or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started
came a little later.
With what she looks like today, which everybody is kind of familiar with.
Kind of when if you go to Boston to see it, that's kind of what you're going to see. Yeah.
Well, come to find out, I had this painting 90% done, then I got the information. And I mean, I've got to the centimeter how much line was on this thing to the centimeter.
Wow.
And come to find out, all them cells was 1 acre. That's how many cells, or that's how much cell was on this ship. 1 acre.
And that was silk. You know how valuable that was
back in the day.
Oh man, I mean, how valuable it is now? Take it back then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they made sails out of silk back then.
Right here on the front, they had Hercules. Did not know that. It's a piece of lost history that I was just like, okay. Because if you look at her today, she just got that little bulk on the front. Comes down on the curve. Well,
you got it with the full artist work on the front there.
So what you're looking at is the only known second painting that has Hercules on the front.
Oh, wow. Her. Okay. So it adds a rarity to that.
The first artist, he painted what this ship had looked like. So I was going by what his original paintings was, what he had documented during her initial launch.
Okay.
And the color of her was yellow ochre. And here on the cannon ports, that's down the side, that was yellow ochre. Then it went to white. Then it went back to yellow ochre. Then it went back to white, to what you see today.
Okay. Was it always yellow, or did it just get weathered and become yellow?
No, that's how they painted it.
Okay, all right.
Yellow ochre. Which, now, that's where you can bicker back and forth, because what was yellow ochre back in the 1800s, 1700s, to what it is today?
Yeah.
That's what we can sit there, me and some of the other artists and the historians are, okay, but what was the true yellow ochre?
Sure. Well, and that's just it. I mean, you look at like food, because food's way different now, and so their version of yellow corn would not look the same as yellow corn today.
Yeah.
You know, that yellow may be more yellow or less yellow. I have no idea, but
and then
you're right. Yeah.
On their, excuse me, and then on their, on the original plans of her,
Mm-hmm.
all they had was that it said black tar pitch. Okay. But then when you go back and you look at what black tar pitch was, it doesn't actually say that it was an actual tar.
Okay.
You know, and
it's
then
a tar-like or some other chemical.
and then
or
the
something.
pitch was basically just like this woven stuff that they would put in between the boards.
Okay.
Okay,
Seal
but
it.
then what was this? And so basically what we've got it down is that more than likely what happened is they've either used well blubber with some of the barks off of trees.
That makes
That's
sense.
the closest that we've got to what that black would
And that
have
makes
looked like.
sense because whale blubber was used for a lot of sealings and lubricants
Exactly.
and things like that back then. That was very
And where
common.
she sailed was nothing but salt seas.
Yeah, it does make sense there. So now let me now talk about what's going on with the contest or whatever, the deal with the museum here, because like you said, you just happened to be painting this Ironsides, and then all of a sudden you found out that the museum's got something going on here.
You're talking about the
Yeah,
Ironside?
yeah.
What they do is they do private collections and
Okay.
things like this. So I was just sitting here painting the thing, and I was just like, well, I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can't get this painting into the National, or not to the National Archives,
Right.
but to the Boston Harbor. And so they responded back, and yeah, everything is good, and we're in talks. And is it going to happen? I just don't know, because you got, like you said, there's so much red tape and what's going on right now.
Sure.
These paintings have to be insured to a cost, etc. And some of that gets funded, some of it don't.
It's
that's
like-
where it falls.
Well, I imagine what's got to happen is it just gets put in front of the right eyeballs, and then the red tape magically disappears.
And then you're going through, whenever you try to do one of these proceeds like this,
Yeah.
you're going through 60 different people.
Sure.
You know.
And what I love about this is, and what you do with like a lot of your paintings too. Yes, it's a picture of old Ironsides in the
The
ocean.
Constitution.
But then, like you said, you subliminally put in, some of the significance behind it, the Constitution there, and just kind of exemplifying the significance behind that ship and what its role was in the revolution, and it is a symbol of our freedom to this day. When you look at the time in our history when we became a nation, and we look at artifacts and things that we think of as icons from that era, Ironsides is one or two on the list. It's
And the Hercules was actually lost at sea, is what they said.
And what I like too is because I think a lot of people think of Revolutionary War through art.
Yeah.
Like when I'm going to guarantee that most people, when they think of Revolutionary War, the first image comes in their head is that famous George Washington Valley Forge painting of him crossing the Valley Forge on the boat.
Yeah.
It's dramatic.
And the Jaws theme playing behind it.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's kind of, so I think most people think of the Revolutionary War imagery and stuff through art.
Right.
And so to me, this is it's so cool. And I really hope that the people in Boston kind of say, you know what, this would be a great addition to our museum here.
Well, and like I said, it's only the second known to be within a historical of what his painting was, that he said everything was about the ship. And there's actually a scroll. That's what he's holding out. And the scroll on their original documents was recorded that they said that Hercules was holding the Constitution of the original 13 colonies. So the Constitution at the time was based on the original 13 colonies.
'Cause that's all we had at the time. I love that. That is so. No, that's a different ship.
Well, see, now she was one of a five fleet here.
Yeah.
That was a 5-ship fleet that went out. That
War of 1812 was like 30 years later, 40 years later. Yeah.
I teach War of 1812 my students, and we mention the ship.
Yeah, they have the style of ships, but I don't think it's that exact ship. But yes, yeah.
Yeah, and see, she had like 6 names before she came actually down to the USS Constitution.
Yeah.
She was going to be called the North Carolina, and then the George Washington, Freedom.
They had it in Baltimore years ago for a minute. Like I remember going to Baltimore and seeing they had it there in Baltimore. It was for a special deal, and because I don't know how seaworthy that ship really is anymore or anything, but this was 30 years ago. I think.
Yeah, basically they take it out. They'll take her out on a tour and stuff like that, and they'll launch the cannons. You know, just dummy stuff.
I don't think I'd want to go on an ocean crossing voyage on that thing.
Ship, yeah.
Now you're getting into Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria type conditions.
And you may discover where they were lost.
But that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful.
Yes. Very
so
nice.
I'm curious. What are you going to do with it in the meantime? Is there any just keeping it under safe till today or somewhere else?
Well, I'm supposed to give them till February.
Okay.
And then probably after February, I'll come back on your show and I'll do a reveal and donate this to you, to the Legion again.
Oh, shoot. That'd be.
And if nothing happens with her at that, because, their hands are tied.
Yeah.
They can't do anything, and you can't force the museum to take it. They're
Sure.
trying the best that they can do.
Sure. Well,
but private collections are private collections.
As a person that serves on the board of the Historical Society, I get it. You only have so much room for so much artifacts, and you want to treasure everything. But if you can't do it properly, then you shouldn't do it at all. So
Exactly.
That's kind of what I'm sure their mindset is.
And they don't want to lose that stuff to history either.
Exactly. Yeah, they love history. They would probably take it in a heartbeat if the amenities and the resources were available. But like
when your
you
hands
said,
are shackled, you can't.
And let's face it, Old Ironsides is a iconic piece of history, and there's going to be a lot associated with that.
And what's funny is that I went on to, well, you know how I work, Facebook, putting my stuff out there. But there is a lot of historians that did not know about Hercules being on the front.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit. I don't know all the history, but I knew, and I'm just one of those people that like that kind of stuff, so I read it. But
so I had to completely change this frapping thing because it was 90% done, and you know how hard it is to paint over black.
I can imagine. It's probably hard to fix. It looks beautiful though. It is such a beautiful detail in it. Like I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I got lost in the ocean for a minute or two. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a boat, but I got just kind of lost in the just the painting of the ocean and how well it looks and how cool it looks so beautiful. And then of course you got the I'm guessing sunrise or sunset situation going on here with you can kind of see some of the other ships in the background. It's just a cool ocean shot.
Yeah.
It's a cool shot here. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well,
but I've got also another book coming out.
Oh, good.
Book cover. She's doing all the.
Is it which one's this one for? Is this Billy the Kid or?
No, this one here is that murder mystery.
I got you. The one we were talking about last time. Yes.
And she's doing the proofs on it, the proof readings and everything. So probably here at the first of the year it'll be dropped, and it has to do with Roswell. But
well, you look forward to seeing that, and when we come back here. But we got one more thing to do.
Yeah.
I didn't really need you to co-host today.
Huh?
I didn't need you, Kim, to co-host today. Greg has a gift for you.
Me?
Yes.
No, really?
Greg painted you a painting as well.
Oh. Oh my God.
Greg painted you a Dallas Cowboys painting as well.
One of a kind.
Isn't that beautiful? It's got all the Super Bowls on it.
That is awesome.
You know I hate that with my ounce of my core, but that's I know you love it.
Well, thank you so much. That is great.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, I know she's a Cowboys fan. I want to paint her something.
What you're going to see is that this is color shift.
That is beautiful. Oh, it does the color shift too, huh?
You'll see it
Oh,
change
the silver? Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, cool. What's how many hours does that take?
Well, Mike, whenever I was telling you that I was going to paint it,
Yeah.
I had it done within a week.
Wow. I knew you crank them out quick. To me, that would be still working on that. But that is so beautiful.
It is a one of a kind.
Despite the fact it's Cowboys. Thank you so much, Greg, for doing that. She had no idea.
Well,
I told her.
And, I'm the type of person, whenever I finish a painting, I like to post it.
Yeah.
And
he's been holding on to that one for a while, keeping it on under wraps.
It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Because
now
it's
we can post it and share it.
Yes. And I was like, But we finally got it done.
We talked about a month ago, but I was like, I can't get her in here until the Christmas break because she's working. Right. So Greg and I have been talking about this for a couple months now. So thank you so much, Greg. I'm so glad you hit me with this idea to surprise her. I was like, that's so cool. I think she'll like it. So
well, I hope you like it.
Merry Christmas from Greg. You
yes.
got a beautiful
Merry
painting.
Christmas to you guys.
Thank you so much. That is so cool.
And thank y'all for everything y'all do.
Thank you. And thank you for the beautiful work. Thank you for sharing everything with us. And thank you for listening. This all started because he listens to the show. And that was pretty much it. And we are so lucky that you treat us with your beautiful works. And you don't have to keep giving me paintings. It's you're done giving me paintings after this.
I'm one of them type of people. And it is true. I want to do more, and even just for the general public. Yeah. And that's what I was talking to my mom about.
Sure.
And, I do. I want to do a lot of things for a lot of people, but you just can't do it. And, this was just one of them deals that happened to come together. And after the
planets align,
and after the first of the year here, we're going to be starting on that Country Music Hall of Fame painting. So I cannot wait to come back on the show and show it whenever it gets done before we get it.
Do you kind of know what it's going to be yet, or is it still percolating?
No, I've already got it.
Okay.
It's not done. Okay. It is drawn. I've got it drawn. I just haven't started painting it.
Now, how many times does these change over the like I know you had a vision at the start, but like halfway through it, how many times does that change before the final product is here? On average.
I would say all the time.
I would guess.
I just basically.
I'm guessing you have a vision, and then as it's going, the ideas start. Wait a minute, what if I did this instead of this?
When the paint starts going and I apply it, then that's when it just changes.
Yeah. Mm.
But
I wish I had your ability. I do not.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I do want to give a huge shout out, and we'll just say we'll keep it quiet. But hey, a huge. Well, I'm going to say voice up instead of other. To the ENMU band. And heck of a job.
Did you watch their performance of the Metallica?
Yeah, I got to do a little bit of talking.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, let's just say heck of a job.
Nice.
Heck of a job.
Nice. Okay. Now you piqued my curiosity.
But yes, after the first of the year, I would love to come back on, and once we get things finalized with the Country Music Hall of Fame.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear more exciting stuff and what you got going on here. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Y'all too.
Thank you so much for these awesome gifts and your gift of sharing it with us. We're so thankful, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Me neither.
Good deal. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we're going to pause for news and Cowboys Report, and then we're going to bring Chris Whipperman in. We're going to talk about some Radio Razzle Dazzle, which is Friday night at the Liberty. So it's a big artistic hour here, man. This is way more fun than talking about politics.
There you go.
Talk about art and fun stuff. So
yeah.
Good deal. Thank you, Greg, so much. Quick break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Cirillo. An Artesia man who was arrested and charged with the October 13th burglary of a vehicle and theft of 2 guns has now been scheduled for trial. A criminal complaint was filed this past week against 29-year-old David Daniel Aguilar, alleging that he stole a Springfield pistol and a 12-gauge shotgun. Aguilar was released on a $7,500 bond. He was scheduled for a preliminary hearing in Artesia Magistrate Court today. In another case, a trial got started Tuesday against a former oil field worker accused of killing his roommate in May of last year. Tevin Morissette is accused of killing Avery Weathers at the oil rig where the two lived. The first day of trial featured jury selection and opening statements. The first witness was a man who told police he witnessed the shooting. Morissette is facing 15 years in state prison if convicted for second-degree murder. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
Hey everyone, with your Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales. Coming off 2 straight road losses, the boys are back at home Saturday night, but a tough test awaits. Zach Martin talks about improvements that need to be made before taking on the Lions right after this.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant, proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond. At McAllenAirport.com.
The Cowboys are back at home this weekend, where they're undefeated this season and average over 39 points per game. But Saturday's opponent, the Lions, led by Aiden Hutchinson, are a top 5 scoring defense and top 5 run defense. So it's a tough challenge for the Cowboys' O-line. All-Pro right guard Zach Martin says improving the run game and third down conversion rate entering the playoffs is a priority, and the line knows the corrections it needs to make.
We got to be more efficient on first and second down, right? We can't put Dak and those guys in those situations at third and long, and obviously clean up some of the penalties there too. So it's still a lot to work on, and that's the game of football, right? Where you're continuously working to get onto Detroit.
At halftime of Saturday night's game, Jimmy Johnson will be inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor. With your Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape for the next few days. Cool high pressure moving in from the central Rockies, and that'll keep us in the mid-50s for the afternoon high today, but we should have plenty of sunshine and the wind should stay light. Overnight will be clear and cold, dipping into the mid-20s, and then we're expecting low 50s for the high on Thursday. We get another sunny day, warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 50s, and then around 60 and sunny for the upcoming weekend.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
Dad joke level 7. Good morning. It is 8:39, and I am joined here in studio this morning by Chris Whipperman and the entire cast of Radio Razzle Dazzle. Well, not the entire cast.
Most of the cast.
Partial cast of Radio Razzle Dazzle. Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Great.
Merry Christmas. How was the Christmas holiday? Everybody have a good one?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Lots of food and
Absolutely, yeah.
family and all that good stuff?
Rolled myself in here this morning.
Nice. What's do y'all do something special? Like y'all have special Christmas things, or do you do like what's the food for y'all's Christmas? I'm just always nosy. Just curious.
We did ham.
You can't go wrong with ham.
Ham, scalloped potatoes.
Fudge.
Nice.
Mac and cheese.
Fudge.
Lots of fudge.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I didn't because I was sick, but like my family, they did Mexican, like a basically potluck. Enchiladas, tacos. It's just you name it.
On the sauce, Christmas.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Mandatory.
But
Right,
good
absolutely.
deal. Well, now that everyone's kind of gotten through the Christmas holiday, we want to invite you to have a little fun before your New Year's Eve celebrations here. This Friday night at the Liberty, we want to invite everyone to come out for dinner and a show. Radio Razzle Dazzle, which I was kind of explaining it earlier, especially young kids. Kids, before there was television, all people had to do to entertain themselves was the radio. And they used to do like your TV shows, but on the radio.
Yep.
And they basically would recreate a whole world on the radio, and that's what this play is. It's a comedy play of a cast doing a radio soap opera, basically. And you know, this is a comedy, so all doesn't go according to plan. And you know, noises that weren't supposed to happen, or things that were supposed to said weren't said, or things that weren't supposed to fall, you know, things like that. Right. That's kind of the premise. So there's the thing, but kind of give the more story background
So
here.
the setup is it's New Year's Eve, 1940.
Okay.
And Invitation to Danger is the radio show that's been playing all year, and everybody's been tuning in every week to find the latest adventures. And
it's drink your Ovaltine, just like the Christmas story at the end.
Get your Dakota ring out. And so they're the big show. It's New Year's Eve, and this is the finale. Everybody finds out who the Hooded Terror is, and the cast is drunk. Some of them don't show up. The scripts are missing. The guy who does the sound effects ran off with the girl who plays the piano or the organ. Yeah. And so
you guys are some great character people. Sounds like
3 minutes to, and it's 3 minutes to showtime. Go, you know. So that's basically what it is. It's kind of like what happens when you know you got to make it sound good to the people listening on the other end, but the chaos that goes on behind, which you know how it can be sometimes.
That's right. Radio is very much the duck on the water type deal, or theater is very much the duck on the water thing, where you know they want to see the top of the duck on the pond there, where he's just gracefully swimming and going about his business. You ain't seeing the legs and stuff under the water line.
That's right.
That's performance.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just how it
kind
is.
of the premise is you know, here we go. We got 3 minutes to showtime, and finally the scripts walk in at the last second, and somebody's got to make the sound effects, and somebody's got to do the commercials, and somebody's got to do the voices, and somebody's got to play the organ. And that's where we come in.
So I'm guessing people are doing, because like you said, everything's kind of so-and-so did show, this is here.
Right.
People are doing things they weren't supposed to be doing.
Yes.
You know, that's not what I studied for. I studied for this. And you know what happens when that goes through.
Yeah.
So
Organized chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So introduce your cast here and talk about their characters here.
Well, this is Bryce.
Yes, Bryce.
I won't say last names, one, because it's pretty early in the morning. I don't know if you want your last names out there, but you can say it if you want to. Anyway, this is Bryce. He's been doing a lot of stuff with the theater. So all of us have been involved with RCLT.
Oh, yeah. You guys do community theater and
that we've been involved with RCLT, and this is something that we're kind of doing on the side.
Bryce, you do a lot of the improv stuff, too, don't you? Yeah, that's where you might have seen Bryce a lot of the Mission Improbable nights out at RCLT here.
Yeah.
So.
And he was, when we did Is He Dead, which was the play, he was the star of
that was one of his more recent ones,
Yeah, so, and Alex she's pretty new to the stage. She was in Is He Dead, but she's getting involved in the theater. And Tony, that was his first play, was Is He Dead? He did some technical stuff, and this is the first time he's going to be getting out in front of an audience. And,
Good deal. Oldest rookie. There you go.
The oldest rookie. There you go. So,
right.
So it's kind of cool because we've got some folks with a little bit of experience and some folks that are somewhat new at this. Also, we have Deli. You know Deli.
Faces, probably.
Shannon's wife.
Okay, yeah.
And she's involved in it too, and then Gina. So
Okay.
A lot of people are familiar with Gina.
Is Gina acting or directing?
She's directing and acting. In
Okay,
it.
so it's dual role here.
Yes, yeah.
So like hockey players, she's got the C on the uniform here with the coach, captain, and I got you.
So, and it's been an interesting process, and it's been great watching it come together, and I think we're real excited. It's kind of one of those, let's just cross our fingers, and it seems, I don't know, it seems like with the folks we have involved in this, we could overcome whatever little issues come up.
Well, I imagine as actors, there's a little bit of a challenge here because you're playing a person who's playing other people, which means you're acting to act as another actor would act, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you're not playing Joe Blow, you're playing Joe Blow who's playing Jane Smith or whatever, you know what I mean? And so there's a third layer of how's this person going to act kind of thing. Yeah. So has that been a challenge for you guys? Is kind of playing
these
roles?
guys are the ones that are having to switch characters mid-paragraph.
Yeah,
gotcha.
we've each got two or three different characters that we play on, just like they did on radio shows back in the day.
Sure,
You've got to do
absolutely.
3 different weird voices and, but
you've got the
fun.
added level of, you got to play the characters, but you're a character yourself.
Right.
So it's not like those people are like, well, I'm Mike. That's what I do. But Mike's playing these 3 characters. But now you're playing. I'm playing this person who's also playing these people. Yeah. And so if that don't mess with your mental health, if you let it out, it's like, where am I going?
I'll say this right now. Tony's got the toughest part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Tony's got to play drunk.
Yep. I have to be the intoxicated.
Can he be a method actor?
I've been working on it.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. The Christmas vacation has definitely helped with that.
Yeah. So Tony's character is actually kind of unique in this, is because he gets to watch the whole play because he's passed out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that. I unfortunately put some added stress on the rest of the actors due to the fact that my character is passed out through 90% of the play.
Nice.
But I'm supposed to be one of the guys doing the voices in the show.
Gotcha.
But I'm MIA. So
Where everyone's having to scramble and cover, and
so you get to be Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's.
pretty much. Yeah. If you want to look at it that way.
I do the sunglasses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, I ain't gonna lie, that's got to be one of the funnest roles that guy's ever played was Bernie. I mean, you think about it.
Absolutely.
I just love to interview that guy. It's like, tell me about the Bernie character. I mean, and to be honest, can you name another movie that guy did? I don't.
I actually haven't seen him in years ago. There you go.
Even deader. But so I meant, but like how long have you guys been like getting prepared for this? Like,
so we actually started on our end. Gina and I about this play a year ago. We actually booked the dates at the Liberty back in January. So we've been
that part of it, procuring the story and a venue and all that.
And we're working with the radio station here. So this is kind of, Gina's helping us out a little bit promote this. And so it's been a lot of fun. You know, the interesting thing, you're talking about characters. The crazy part about this that's kind of unique is that, you say you have to get into your character. Well, in this play, the characters you're playing are people who don't normally do that. So when you rehearse, like Alex has to play the organ, but she's not supposed to be the person who normally plays the organ.
I get to be bad at it.
So you get to rehearse.
So you get to
something, and Deli does the sound effects. You don't want her to get too good at it.
Right. You're like, wait a minute, that sounded like it was supposed to sound like. That can't be right.
So that's kind of the fun of this too, through this whole process. And it's been very creative and collaborative with all of us. It's like when we're doing rehearsals, any one of us at any time is like, hey, hold on a minute, let's try this right here.
Sure.
And that's what's kind of nice about being in have a little more freedom to be a little more.
And that's what I was kind of going. Is this because when we talked earlier, like you got to procure rights. Someone wrote this. Someone, whenever you do these things, people need to get paid accordingly for their creative license here. But sometimes that they'll give you permission to do it. Sometimes it comes with strings, like it's got to be done a certain way according to the artist. Sometimes they give you a little bit more freedom of direction on that. For this play, did they give you a little bit more? Leeway to do some of it? Because, for instance, like if you're doing a Disney production, they're a little bit more stringent on how you present it.
They want every line accurate. They want every cue accurate. That's a good part about this is it does give us a little room for improv. I mean, we try to stick with the script, but that's one thing I've found when I'm in plays is that a lot of times I'll change lines to be more my tone or my way of talking.
Sure.
It's just part of it's easier for me to remember it.
Well, and you can translate, especially if you're trying to go for a big laugh, and you're like, well, I got to do it the way I do it. If I try to do it the way they do it, it's not going to come across as funny. So it's just you got to work that a little bit in too.
Well, and something that's unique about this play is that it's a play about a show that's going wrong, right?
Right.
But once that on-air sign comes on, you can't stop. Like you're going.
And so it's live,
There's scenes where we have to pretend to be improvising, because it says like the following is ad-libbed, and so we're it's kind of funny because everyone knows every stage actor knows that there's some scenes where someone says a wrong line or misses a cue, and you really are in that oh crap. Like, we have to do, so you make up something to get it back on track. But in this one, that's kind of, some of those are scripted. And so you have to pretend to be freaking out.
But it also gives you a little flexibility. Is like when you do screw up, how do they know? Was that a screw up or was that just part of the screw up?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a part of the fun is every time if we actually screw up, we can add it to
you
the
can add it as part of the
Keep that screw up. That was really good. Let's keep that.
The only ones we'll know are us.
But then again, those probably add an added layer of funniness because anything that happens in natural versus scripted is always going to just land a bigger laugh. It just does. It's just but it sounds like it's going to be a fun. Now you can get tickets right now. Go to thelibertyinc.com and get tickets. You can pair it with the meal. They've got, I was looking, your choice of chicken a la king or slow roasted beef pot roast are the two different meals. And then they've got German chocolate cake or lemon Italian cream cake. And I got to sell the food, man. That's just part of the deal.
So let me say, so
Absolutely.
the ticket price is inclusive of the food.
Okay.
So when you order a ticket, you're paying for your food. That includes the gratuity for the food.
Okay, so it's all inclusive.
Only
there.
in your case if you're buying any drinks or if you want to buy dessert.
Yeah, the dessert is separate.
Yeah.
Because you know how we are. We kind of ate too much food and it's like, oh, I don't want dessert. Now, if you didn't eat too much food, you can go buy one or just not eat it or give it away to somebody else. And then you can. But yeah, if you want to get your drinks or whatever. But it now, can you get tickets at the day of the event at the door, or they want everything through advance?
I think it's best if they do it in advance, mainly because they plan the meals that way.
Gotcha.
So that way they know what.
Because they know assign you meals. Because when you do get your tickets, they're going to ask you if you want the chicken or the beef or and all that good stuff. And then I know how they do things. They by your name tag is how they know what food you get. So by the way, when they give you a seat, don't move around.
Don't move around.
That kind of messes up their deal.
Goes.
Yeah. But go to thelibertyinc.com, get your tickets, and while you're there, check out the other show. They got a whole bevy of
stuff coming up.
concerts and shows that are coming up that you can get
Orphanators
tickets.
are coming back.
Yeah.
Some midget wrestling there. I'm getting excited for that.
Yeah. And I think don't they got like Lee Trevino or someone for New Year's or something like that?
There's some
They got
YouTube. He was just talking the other day that the tickets have been going like crazy. Some YouTube
Okay.
woman who Trailer
Media?
Park Tracy or something.
Okay.
I'm gonna butcher the name, but anyway, yeah. So they've got some good stuff coming up there, and we're.
Of course, if you want to be a member, you can always talk to them about becoming a
let me
member.
stress, this is open to everybody.
Absolutely.
You do not have to be a member to come to this event.
All you got to do is order your tickets on thelibertyinc.com. That's the only thing you got to do.
Right.
You can go there and you get tickets and make it date night if you want to. If you want to, maybe you're like, I don't want to go out for New Year's Eve when everybody else goes out. Let's do mine the night before. And you can go to Liberty and have a few drinks and enjoy a beautiful show and dinner and have fun and, take a date or
This would make a great date night.
Right.
Absolutely.
Get dressed up. We're going to be decked out in 40s. Make it 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Wear your
40s.
suit, wear your hat, polish shoes.
Looking for excuse to
Do
wear
it
that
up.
zoot suit in your closet. There's a good chance that you do that.
Let's have some style.
Yeah. Come on and you do the 40s era. We can do all that. Do the swinging and dancing and kind of the era. Maybe World War II sailor outfits. I feel like that's a very 40s thing.
There you go. Well, this takes place technically. This is December 31st, 40, so we wouldn't have been in the war yet. So this would have been pre-war.
Yeah, that would have been 41 when Pearl Harbor happened.
Yeah.
But it's a comedy. It's going to be a load of laughs. It's good. Now, like you said, it's a great date night movie, but is this a kids thing or
family friendly?
Good deal.
Yeah, completely. Everything that went out over the radio was family
Good
friendly.
deal. So if you want to bring the kids and everything, obviously if they're really young, it's maybe get a sitter for them, but teenagers.
You say that, but in all honesty, I think what a learning experience.
Sure.
For kids, if you're trying to introduce your kids to theater or something like that, how about coming out and seeing this? Because then you can also tell them that's how TV was back in the day before there was TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was people standing in little rooms acting this out.
I guess the only thing is if your kid has can pay attention for an hour or so without getting too distracted or bored or whatever. You know how kids are, their attention spans. If they're old enough where they could sit for an hour and a half and enjoy it without getting antsy, then it'd be perfect.
Yeah, and it's not a super long show. It's just a little bit over an hour. So it's not something where they're sitting there for 2 hours.
And they got great
dialogue.
food. Yeah, and they got great meal, great dinner. And if you don't want to leave the kids at home and make it adult night, that's okay too. And that's very much part of this too. If you're like, no, I've been dealing with the kids every day for Christmas. I want adults. Then make this the adult time and have some fun and have a date with it and all that. But get your tickets now. The sooner the better. TheLibertyInc.com. If you go to the Liberty Inc's Facebook page, you'll find a link to that either, but it's going to take you right to the Liberty Inc. either way. So whatever portal you get there. But that way you can go. And I invite you to, while you're there, check out some of the other shows they got coming in the coming months here. I know they got Los Lonely Boys in April. I think you can start getting tickets for that now if you wanted to too. So after you get your tickets for Razzle Dazzle, Radio Razzle Dazzle, you can get some other tickets for maybe a botched Christmas. You need to make good a few things. That might be a good chance.
Guys, if you didn't get the wife what she wanted, what a great thing. Just take her out for New Year's, have a great party.
Tell it was your plan all along.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, and make this a fun night. Do it. Like I said, if you want to dress up, awesome, but you don't have to. If you're no. I'm a jeans and t-shirt person.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Please wear those. Don't come naked.
Right.
Then we got a problem.
But
it is a family show. But come and like I said, come hungry. And like I said, they'll have drink specials and the dessert specials too. So if you want to do, if you don't get enough food to eat or enough to drink here, they've got specials going on. And if you've never been to Liberty, make an excuse to come and check out the Liberty. If you're thinking about becoming a member or anything, come out to Radio Razzle Dazzle and check out the amenities and facilities for yourself. And then of course you can talk to his staff afterwards or during, and they'll be happy to learn you more about becoming a member and all that.
Exactly.
So, yep. Good deal. So what's on the radar after this? Do you guys have plans for like next?
Well, we as a group, we don't. I'm doing the trivia thing, so
sure.
We're still doing some trivia at the Liberty. We've got some dates coming up for that.
All right,
and,
we'll get talking about that later on in the year.
Yeah. So we'll. But so that's pretty much it. Nothing else planned right off the bat.
Good deal.
Just been trying to get through this thing.
Okay.
Trying to see how this goes.
Well, good deal. Well, we look forward to the performance here. Get your tickets now. It's going to be if you're looking for something fun to do on Friday night, this is about the best thing in town, man. You just come out, great dinner.
We always hear there's nothing to do in Roswell. Well, here you go. There's something to do.
No way.
Yeah.
And or maybe you've got plans for New Year's with a bunch of friends, and you want to do something with your spouse or significant other here, and just do something for the two of y'all. Then come out Friday night, enjoy a fun radio play, some great food, wine and dine each other for a fun evening.
Right.
Here,
Should be a good time.
Absolutely. So, but and of course, reach out to Chris during the show if you're thinking, hey, I love this. Can I be in the next play or be involved?
We're always looking for new people.
Looking for more folks to get involved here, or maybe or help Gina out with helping with directing and stuff. Maybe she can just.
I got to tell you, I love this radio thing. I'm already I want to see more plays like this because.
Well, you can take it in so many places. You can have so much fun with it, and you could do that same style show. And have 20 different versions of it and be completely unique of each other. You know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
It's a foundation for a good story, regardless of what story it is. You know what I mean? It sets the table for a good story. But Radio Razzle Dazzle this Friday night only. What time does the show start?
So the doors I think open at 6.
Okay.
We're doing dinner from 6 to 7:15. The show starts at 7:30, so we want to have dinner. So if you're planning on eating. Get there probably by 7, so you can make sure you have time to get your food.
But get there around 6. You want to mingle and eat and have a drink and maybe visit with friends and so forth. While because once the play starts, shut up and sit down and enjoy the
Right.
But before that, you can mingle and talk and do all that.
Yeah. Just don't show up at 7:29.
No.
And expect your food to be delivered during the show.
You're gonna get. You're gonna see what Mad Face looks like.
Right.
Right. See this face?
We will all smell it.
That's right.
Just in time to see us eating your food.
You with the food.
Now you're going to see Angry Face. But come on out, thelibertyinc.com. Get your tickets right now. Come out Friday night. Dinner starts at 6. Play will start about 7:15 here. All at The Liberty. Come out and have a good time. It's going to be just a fun night. You do not have to be a member of The Liberty to enjoy this. All you need to do is go to The Liberty Inc., order your tickets.
Open for all ages.
Yeah, the only questions you're going to have to know when you go there is what do you want, the chicken or the pot roast? And that's
right.
You will have to make that. We're going to commit you to that. You need to know one or the other. Chicken or beef. Chicken. Don't hem and haw on us. You got to know. Well, y'all get one of each, and if you're like, I didn't want that, then swap, and then you're good. So, But anyway, thank you guys very much.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Absolutely.
And getting up and avoiding work for a little while to come see me. So thank you.
Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for. We look forward to see you guys Friday night for some.
We appreciate
fun
you guys.
And
thank you.
Food, fun, and frivolity.
And thank you, Mike.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back.
Attempts to keep him off the ballot, a pathetic gambit. Looks like 2024 will come in like a lamb across much of the country, a fairly serene scene expected by William Churchill at the National Weather Service.
Remains, relatively warm compared to how cold it could be this time of year, and travel issues should be fewer on the New Year Day holiday. So that looks good. Fairly quiet the next week, out through January 2nd or 3rd.
And conditions are slowly improving across parts of the central and northern plains, blasted by a fierce winter storm earlier this week. The White House admits to being concerned about indications that one of the world's leading state sponsors of terrorism is accelerating its quest to develop nuclear weapons.
The International Atomic Energy Agency said in a report to member states that Iran has increased the rate at which it's producing near-weapons-grade uranium in recent weeks. The move is reversing a previous slowdown that started in the middle of this year, according to the agency. Iran had previously slowed down the rate at which it was enriching uranium to 60% purity. Uranium enriched at 60% purity is just a short technical step away from weapons-grade levels of 90%. I'm Karen Chamas.
On a visit to Mexico, Secretary of State Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas will meet today with Mexican President Obrador. They'll discuss the migrant crisis. Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is up 31 points, while the Nasdaq trading 13 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
In Dinesh D'Souza's new blockbuster movie, Police State exposes the government's plot to control MAGA conservatives.
These are anti-government.
We have freedom of religion and freedom of speech.
Violent extremists, and they must be dealt with.
MAGA Republicans threaten the very foundation of our republic.
Mass surveillance, censorship, and armed attacks. There's nowhere to hide.
FBI, we have an arrest warrant.
15 marked units on my property.
Military-styled soldiers pointing an automatic rifle at my head.
Are we becoming a police state?
It may be the Russia other people grew up in, but not my America.
Directed by Dinesh D'Souza, Debbie D'Souza, and Bruce Shuley. Police State sounds the alarm.
What we need is a person, and then we go find out what crime you did. How did we give the state this kind of power?
Police State. They have their lists. Are you next?
If they're coming for me, they're coming for you.
Police State. Buy it or stream it.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
For action.
Repeated recalls of eye drops are drawing new attention to the limited powers U.S. regulators have to oversee medical products made overseas. Unlike prescription drugs, eye drops and other over-the-counter products don't get preliminary review by the Food and Drug Administration. In the case of 2 eye drop recalls earlier this year, FDA inspectors had never previously visited the plants in India. In both cases, when FDA inspectors arrived on site, they found dangerous conditions. Keith Peters reporting.
With the Republican primaries around the corner, a new poll finds that party members are not sure that votes in the presidential nominating contest will be counted accurately. Only about 1/3 of Republicans say they're confident that tallies in the primary will be accurate. That according to a new AP NORC poll. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelation, what does he say? I'm on the Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. He's running. He's going 5? He's going 5? Okay.
Yeah, that one's on. Tristan Viernes.
All right, very good. Thank you, Roy. Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Feels like Monday. It's not. It's Wednesday. And you're halfway through your week, which some of you are like, okay, you got yesterday off because it was the day after Christmas, but you went today. And good news is it feels like Monday, but it's Wednesday, which means tomorrow's Thursday, which means Friday is one day closer, which means your week's almost done. So, is that a glass half full spin on it? But happy middle of the week. Happy week between Christmas and New Year's. Don't forget, it is day 1 of the Pocorn Tournament and the Goddard Invitational Holiday Tournament. We will games, I think, get underway about 1 p.m. We will have all of the games at both the Pocorn and the Goddard Holiday Tournament. You can watch live stream video of all the matchups at ksvptv.com. We have 2 channels. One channel is all the games that are taking place at the Coyote Den in Roswell, at Roswell High. And the other is all the games taking place at Ground Zero, Goddard. And so if the game's at Goddard, you'll watch on one channel. If the game's at Roswell, you'll watch on the other. We will only have announcers for the matchups that contain the Goddard Rockets, the Roswell Coyotes, or the Artesia Bulldogs. All the other matchups will have video for, but no announcers. So you'll just hear squeaking sneakers and buzzers and all that stuff. So you'll get to hear that. But we'll have the games there for you. Or better yet, get you a pass and go out there and watch the games today. If you're off work or got free time and you're here in the area, go get you a pass, and you can watch all the games. And the Optimists host the Pocorn Tournament, do an amazing job every single year doing that, hosting the most prestigious tournament in the state, one of the oldest too. But get your tickets, go out there and go watch the games. But if you can't make it, or you're at work, or you got out of town friends and family, ksvptv.com. You'll find it all there. So, Kim and I were talking about that painting. She's wishful thinking, but if Dallas does win the Super Bowl this year, he's going to have to come in and update that painting. We don't have to worry about that though. So. My team won't be going, but Dallas won't either. I think it's be honest, I think it's the 49ers year. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. 49. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's my prediction. Me and about 12 other empty-headed pundits. But anyway, we'll see. Food ball.
That's the one with the puck that's orange, pointing on each side.
Mm-hmm. They use a badminton ball. You want to mess with people's heads? Ask them to look for a badminton ball. See what they find. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that here in just a little bit. And then here in just a few minutes, we'll be joined officially in studio by Ted Smith, wearing his American Legion Post 61 hat today, not his Walker Aviation hat. He wears many hats as well, too. So he'll be give us an update on what's going on at Post 61. Of course, we just had Reese Across America. We got that. We'll recap that and also offer recruitment. If you're a veteran out there or veteran's family and looking to get involved, we might have a place for you. So we'll talk. We'll get an update from Ted here in just a few minutes. Later on the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Hey, don't forget, real quick, don't forget, trash and all that's on the holiday schedule this week, so it's a day later. So if your trash day was yesterday, it's this morning. If it's today, it's tomorrow, and so forth and so on. So just plan accordingly there. But do what I do. When you see your neighbors pull all their stuff out, just do it like that same time too, and then you'd be good to go. But
That's what I do.
yeah, they're on a holiday schedule this week, so just to warn you. So because I know we got, especially this first one, there's going to be extra trash because it's Christmas. Everyone's got boxes of things, and I know every single alley dumpster that was near my house had boxes sticking out of it. Yesterday morning, I noticed. So I imagine those are getting all taken care of today. So it is 11 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape for the next few days. Cool high pressure moving in from the central Rockies, and that'll keep us in the mid-50s for the afternoon high today, but we should have plenty of sunshine and the wind should stay light. Overnight will be clear and cold, dipping into the mid-20s, and then we're expecting low 50s for the high on Thursday. We get another sunny day, warming up a little bit on Friday with upper 50s and then around 60 and sunny for the upcoming weekend.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 45%. Winds calm at the moment. Sunny today. Expect highs mid-50s. That's kind of the MO for this week. Cold at night, 20s at night, 50s during the day. That's kind of what we're dealing with for the next several days. But sunny and 54 today. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Way warmer than yesterday in that wind. Oof. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 25 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. That's the best news, is these winds. 5. That's a good number for winds, not 20 or 30 or any of that nonsense. For you Thursday, sunny and 53. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear skies, overnight low of 22. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 57 for a high. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Clear overnight Friday night with a low of 25. For your Saturday, mostly sunny and 59. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 26. New Year's Eve on Sunday, sunny, highs near 60. New Year's Eve evening, a lot of eves, mostly clear, overnight low of 25. And then New Year's Day on Monday, sunny, 55 for a high there. So pretty average weather-wise for us the next several days. Nothing to write home about. No winds or rain or anything, to snow or none of that stuff. Although 8 years ago, we were dealing with Goliath. I saw those popped up on my Facebook yesterday and the day before. 8 years ago was Goliath. My pictures from Goliath were all popped up. Were you around, Ted, for Goliath 8 years ago?
No, sir.
Yeah, we got snow. We got like 20 inches of snow. Yeah, we were shut down for like a week. Yeah, we had no.
Because they hadn't plowed the street.
Yeah, we actually got like legit snow. And I think there's only one snowplow in the entire state of New Mexico. So so it was, I remember it was right after Christmas. And because it started on like a Saturday or a Sunday or something. It was on a weekend when it started. And I remember Monday doing the show from the house. Because Gene did the show from the studio in Artesia. And then he patched me in. And then we did a multi-station morning show on our AM and on this station that first day or two. And then by Wednesday, I was able to break out and get to the house or get to the office. And
you had someone that had four-wheel drive.
Yeah, we had the Breaking Bad mobile from Jeffrey Curtis that got us. He had the same car that Walter White had in Breaking Bad, so we called it the Breaking Bad mobile. And that piece of junk got us to work every day for that week there, so it was pretty nice. But yeah, I didn't have my Jeep back then, so I had a RAV4, which was not four-wheel drive. And I couldn't get out of the driveway with it. Because at the time, we lived in the house with the sloped driveway. Yeah. And so it was on a hill. As soon as my car hit that hill, I had no traction. It just slid right down the hill, or it was a mess. So. Yeah, that's right. It's like snow. What's this nonsense? But, yeah, so that was 8 years ago today, folks, Goliath. I'm sure y'all got the memories on your Facebook post, too. It is 9:15. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll bring Ted on here from American Legion Post 61, and we'll Talk Post 61 business. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
They're watching you. They see your social media posts. They follow your family, your friends, and your interests online because they're planning on taking your money. All of it. They're con artists. They'll use your social information to build your trust and lure you into once-in-a-lifetime investments with promises of high guaranteed returns. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 61 family, Ted Smith back with us. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good. How's your Christmas and holiday going here?
I'm still recovering.
Still recovering.
Yeah.
What's on your menu for Christmas dinner? Just curious. What do you put on your dinner? What's your go-to?
Well, I just went with ham this year.
Okay.
Mostly because my wife knows that I have gout and it kills me.
So go with prime rib a little bit too. Although beef and meat's probably good. It's the other stuff that gets you.
Yeah, it's
the candied things and all that.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
My thing is, because I had lived in Maryland for a few years when I was in the Army, I got attached to seafood.
Yeah, it happens.
And so I cooked up some lobsters and some shrimp, and then my feet hurt like they were on fire because of gout.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the last year I actually eat some seafood for the holidays.
I don't know. That's just wrong. Everyone should be able to eat seafood.
You know, it's a crime against humanity.
It is. My brother hooked me up with some crab from Maryland for Christmas. He got me thanks to the Goldbelly Company. There's a restaurant in Bowie that serves these things called crab bombs. And they're basically crab cakes, but they're big meatball versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Maryland. It's all crab. It's not filler garbage.
That's right.
It's lump crab meat. It's legit. If you want crab, blue crab, Chesapeake Bay blue crab, there is no better way to get it than that crab bomb or crab cake. So.
Amen.
And that's what we had. Now, it came Goldbelly, and I literally had to, the day it came, it said, all right, don't freeze it, and you got to cook it within 1 to 2 days. So we got it like Thursday, and by Friday, we're eating crab bombs. So. And crab
great.
bisque, by the way, which was excellent, too.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. that crab. I was a little worried about the crab bisque at first, but once I started heating it up and it started look like crab bisque again. First, it looked like this putty, and I'm like, oh, but once you heated it up, because it's so creamy and so rich, it congeals into this pudding almost. And once you heat it up, it turns into a nice soup. But
a couple of weeks ago, I was on the East Coast, and I thought about you in passing while I was enjoying a big, thick haddock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I'm over that now.
Well, I'm due for a visit to family here, so summertime's the best time. That's crab season. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, folks, if you haven't been to Maryland. It is extraordinary.
Well,
it just is. It's mind-blowingly good.
Yeah, it's seafood. That's why I'm spoiled. That's why I'm a little snobby on that stuff, because I grew up, in my opinion, the best place to eat it on the planet.
Yeah, but and I'm not a Maryland guy. If there was something,
Maryland's got a lot of problems. It's a hot mess of a state, but seafood ain't one of them.
Do you know what the state sport is in Maryland?
Jousting.
Yeah, how about that, everybody?
Yeah, I knew that. And it's different than the jousting you think of. They don't put on they don't hit each other. Like, they'll put on the suits of armor and everything, but they have a little ring that's probably about the size of a shower curtain ring.
All the way down to it.
And yeah, and basically they get the lance through the ring. That's kind of how that's how they celebrate the official sport of jousting. But that is the Maryland sport. The bird is the Baltimore Oriole. The flower is the black-eyed Susan. I had to learn these things in school.
Yeah,
Maryland, my Maryland is the state song. However, we're talking about American Legion. You got me sidetracked with crab.
I'm sorry.
That'll get me every time.
Me too. I mean, that stuff is that good.
First thing I'd like to do is thank everyone that participated in Wreaths Across America with us. We had just over 200 wreaths that we gave or placed on graves at Memory Lawn Cemetery and downtown here at the Veterans. I think a few went over to South Park as well, too. I know Post 28 was covering some of South Park there. But thank you to everyone that participated in that. By the way, that's a year-round thing. So if you missed for this year, you can go to our website right now and purchase wreaths for Wreaths Across America that will go towards next year. We have our window still open. Go to roswelllegion.org, and right in the middle there's a thing about Wreaths Across America. You click that goes to our wreath page, and you can purchase wreaths through that. You can have them dedicated to a particular loved one or anything if you want to, have a special message. They do all that. But if you do it now, it's going to count for 2024 here. So, but you can go there now, and I'll catch you while it's fresh in your brains because you're thinking about it. But that will be open all year. So if you want to go in July and do it, and I'll remind you from time to time, because it's Christmas. But if you'd like to get involved with that, it's a great way. Basically, what we do, if you're not familiar with Wreaths Across America, it's an organization that veterans actually make these wreaths. It's a veterans-run veteran organization. They make these Christmas wreaths. So they give these veterans these jobs doing the wreaths. Then, on top of that, the money that they sell and generate go to scholarships and other veteran-related causes and things. So they'll help with families of veterans to help get kids through college and all kinds of stuff they do with it. So that's where the money goes when you pay $17 for a wreath. Part of it goes to the cost of making the wreath and putting the wreath, and the rest go to support veterans. So it's a big win there. So you can do that anytime. So I'm going to remind you from time to time to go there and do that. So, and that way, instead of having 200, maybe we have 400 wreaths to go put out. Because I'm going to tell you right now, 200's a great number and a lot. It's not nearly enough. There are veterans that don't get markers because we don't have enough wreaths. So, make it so we're like, I don't know what to do with all these wreaths. We got extra wreaths, but all the graves that would be an amazing problem to have.
Yeah, it would.
And we would be very appreciative if you help us get to that goal. So, but again, roswelllegion.org is the website. You can go there and do that. So, good deal.
Okay, we're a 4 pillars post.
Yes.
The 4 pillars of the American Legion. I'm sorry.
Everyone's got a case of that. It's just, 'tis the season. I'd have it too. So.
Yeah, the first pillar is Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation. And, we're part of a big family of organizations. The Disabled American Veterans, AMVETS, and Veterans of Foreign War. Military Officers Association, Non-Commissioned Officers Association, Reserve Officers Association, name it. They're more than you can count.
And a lot of acronyms.
Lots and lots.
DAV, keep going.
So that's the first pillar. The second one's national security. The Legion pays attention to what Congress is spending on national security and whether or not it's worthwhile.
And we share opinions on that from time to time because guess what? Veterans did things in the military, which means they have experience, which means the things that they're talking about, they know a thing or two about because that's what they did for a living for a little bit. So anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, the third one is Americanism. There are a lot of folks who misunderstand what that means. We're not talking about the hyper right-wing guys or anything like that. We're thrilled no matter what your beliefs are and what your parties are, so long as everyone's playing fair and following the process. The founding fathers set it up so we take turns.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. Think about it. You know, we don't fight it out with guns. We fight it out at the voting booth. And so long as that's happening, everything is fine. And people forget that in these days when everyone's polarized.
Well, that's the beauty of the Constitution and the amendments, the Bill of Rights. That's why it makes it such an amazing, one of the most amazing documents that human history has ever put out there because of what you're talking about there. It sets the rules for how we run this nation, and it gives a caveat to allow us to adjust it as needed for time. You know, that's where those Bill of Rights and the amendments, you know, those things like the rights to vote and who can vote. All those were amendments later added to our United States Constitution, and that's what makes that document so great. Is if there's things that aren't addressed in there, we can amend it to make it as such. And
you know, Congress has recommended 33 amendments over the years. 27 have been approved, and they have to be approved by the states. That means the people. Fantastic. I'm going to quote from you a little bit out of an article from the American Legion Weekly 100 years ago.
All right.
1923.
And just as relevant today as it was 100 years ago, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. The guy starts off by saying that the English Prime Minister, Mr. Gladstone, had pronounced the U.S. Constitution as the greatest document ever stricken off at a given time by the mind of man. Think about that. That's the English folks who were kind of resentful to us.
There's a whole reason we wrote that was because of them, you know.
Right. On our shores, we set up these checks and balances that other people hadn't set up before. And it set up a government that should be responsive to popular opinion, but not the mob. Big difference between an outburst at one time and the saner thoughts of everybody together. Okay.
That's that whole checks and balances thing. That's why we scream at the top of our lungs about, you know, everyone getting a say in the room here, because that's when you don't, that's when you start breaking down those things.
And that's what this article's about. The American Legion celebrates any time somebody amends the Constitution or doesn't, because that means the process is working. Okay. This is the one time the Legion came on board and expressed some deep concerns about an amendment that people were coming up with.
Okay.
And this amendment did not actually get to the floor and get out because right-thinking folks like the Legion thought it through.
The checks came in to balance things.
Bingo. And it was about checks and balances, this particular amendment. Some folks came up with the idea in 1923 that since the Supreme Court only had 9 members, that somehow or another they could have a tie.
I'm not a math wizard.
Me either.
But I did learn that if you have an odd number, there's no way you can have a tie.
Right.
Unless you can somehow split someone in half, which we can in math, but not in people.
But if one person wasn't available to vote, you could have it split.
I guess in theory, yeah, if you have an 8 and 8 or 4 and 4 rather.
So the idea is that it would give Congress the right to pass on the constitutionality of its own laws.
Wow.
By making Congress the final arbiter when the votes of the justices is 5-4 or 6-3. That was what they were heading for.
Mm.
And the folks at Legion sat down and thought it through and thought, wait a minute. The point of the judiciary,
right,
the Supreme Court, is to rule on the constitutionality of Congress's laws.
It's kind of like giving the inmates the keys to the prison.
Right. So they came online and said, whoa, wait. Now, this is one of the rare times that Legion has been overtly political. And I'm not sure that's really political.
No,
it's about the process.
That's an Americanism thing, that we have rules in America and you're trying to violate them. Therefore, we're going to say something about that.
Right. And this was a major thing. By the way, the last amendment that was changed was one of the original Bills of Rights, the 10. This was one that didn't get enough votes. And it finally got enough votes now. And what it was is rules concerning Congress providing pay raises to themselves.
Mm.
They set it up so that you can't vote on your own pay raise. It has to have come before you went in.
Right.
And that was an original item to keep people from enriching themselves.
Well, that's a
on
smart
office.
one. That's a smart
Right. And so there have been congressmen have been waiting the entire time we've been a nation trying to get this one through. That'll be the honest congressmen.
Yeah.
Who aren't trying to make money.
Well, let's see if we can get them on term limits next.
How about that? And the fourth pillar is children and youth. Legion does what amounts to civics classes.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much talking about what I'm talking about, what we're talking about.
Well, and to be honest, this is kind of like our post 61. We support and sponsor a Cub Scout and Boy Scout troop. And that's kind of part of that pillar. That because, yes, we're, the Scouts run the meetings and do everything, but guess what they teach in Boy Scouts? A lot of the same things we're talking about here with Americanism and you know what I mean?
It's about fair play.
Yeah. There's a lot of principles in scouting that line up with the pillars of the American Legion. So it's kind of a nice, so part of our extension of that last pillar you're talking about is supporting scout troops and things like that. That's part of what we do to support that. So.
Yeah. The Legion is definitely not a political party. It's wrong to even class the Legion among conservatives. The Legion is very neutral.
Yeah.
It's about the entire process.
And
so long as it's being handled by our votes collectively, all of us in America, then everything's fine.
And the members of the American Legion are just like the members of the country. You got everything. You've got very conservative ones. You got very liberal ones. You got the ones in the middle there. And so like the United States of America, the American Legion's makeup is very similar. It's very eclectic. It's very diverse. And therefore, and here's the other thing too, is when we talk about all the veteran organizations, and there's VFW, there's a lot of great organizations that do anything. But at the end of the day, and I know I say that a lot, I'm going to tack that on here, American Legion is the only one that is authorized and sanctioned by the United States Congress, which means we step to the head of the line when it comes to their ear. When it comes to veterans' rights and veterans' things, they have to let us in the room because we're their product of their children. We're their child. We're a product of him. So they've got to listen to us. They've got to so we make more headway, whereas other organizations can't because we're Congress's stepchild here.
Oh, very much so. We have our annual report to Congress.
Yeah.
We report to Congress.
Yeah, but we got with that comes duties and responsibilities and things that we have to meet to do that, or we get in trouble as a Legion. But yes, but when it does come time to like what you're talking about earlier, when we have to step in and say something, it carries a little bit more weight just because of who authorized us and where we came from. Just something piece of information there for you.
Right. The 20s was a time when people were pushing a lot of amendments through, like that one about no alcohol and then they pushed that other one through saying that was a bad idea. But the beauty is they could do it and reverse it. It's a beautiful thing when voting happens and people participate.
Absolutely. Well, and it's, history. This is why I'm always such a supporter of history and telling people to study and read and understand history, because you want to know what's coming next, or you want to get an idea of what's coming next. It's already happened. It's in history. You want to see the world we live in now, go study pre-World War II, pre-Civil War. Study some of the 20, 30 years leading up to World War II and Civil War and things. You're going to find a lot of similarities in what's going on politically versus what was going on back then.
Yeah.
It's
politicized presses.
Absolutely.
Just brainwashed.
Absolutely. This is not new, what we're seeing. This is stuff that's been, the technology has changed the way and we do it and how it's presented, but this has been going on long before you and I were put on this earth.
Oh, yeah. Like this thing from 1923. Recently we've had people talking about changing the number of justices in the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really? Let's read the Constitution before we start talking that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And be sure we're doing it right.
Well,
if it's right and it's needed, and the public will tell us.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not senator or congressperson that's going to, it's we the people. This is why, term limits. I'm going to take a stab here, and I'm going to say the majority of Americans probably want to see term limits on our Congress people. I'm going to get, and I don't care what side of the fence you are, I'm going to say if you polled most Americans, I'm going to say overwhelmingly they're going to say we should have term limits. At some point, Congress is going to have to answer to that, and that's why I'm one of those people, regardless of who you vote for, Democrat, Republican, whoever that person is, you ask them, how do you feel about term limits? And they better tell you support them, because I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, that's the way of the future, and that's what we got to do next. But that's just me getting political here.
I know, but when I was in college, I read a textbook, and the author suggested that if we really wanted to see more democratic behavior in our Congress, that maybe 50% of them should be brought in by lot. And you would get a true cross section.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be interesting if everyone had to go to Congress school for 90 days and then take their seat.
Well, and because there's a lot going on, because in theory they're saying, well, each district has a representative and all that, but what's going on, and you see it right here in our own backyard, is like, okay, we're going to move the lines to make it seem that, to get the population so we can get our representation that way. And so these are all, and this is not new tactics. These same tactics were the tactics they used 20, 30, 100 years ago to achieve these same things. We just didn't have the internet or TV or phone or any of these ways to tell you about it the second it happened.
Longer than that. People were wearing powdered wigs when they were acting that way.
Oh, yeah. Put it this way. As long as two humans were storing some form of government, this was going on. I'm telling you right now. And this is kind of getting back to what you're talking about, kind of full circle in here in the beginning, the Constitution and everything. That's the thing, is this form of government was a new thing. It's what we do and what we celebrate was not something that countries of the world did back in that time. There was feudal systems or monarchies, or, we the people was not a thing. It was we the royalty, or we the power that be will determine what we the people need. And this was that first time where it's like, no, we're not going to dictate who your God is. We're not going to dictate, what your profession is. We're not going to dictate how you live. We're not going, that's what this country was, because in Europe, these people were told, you're a member of England, you got to be a member of the Church of England. You don't get a say on what God you worship. You don't get to, and that's still the case in some of these places and things like that.
Very much. There are countries with state religions.
You get into places, God forbid, we talk about Russia and China. You don't get that, like during COVID, you see all these Chinese families and people living in boxes because of COVID. I'm sorry. Yeah. You don't realize that was all mandated. Military were grounding people up and putting them in boxes, things like that. You didn't see all that on the news here, but you try that here, and that's not going to go. I'm telling you, this is why America is so great. You don't realize how good you have it until you go to someplace else. That's why military people, because most of us have spent some time sitting in the sandbox somewhere or sitting at some third world place.
Well, even countries that call themselves civilized.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And life is different. And you're like, wow, I can't believe they put up with this. And it's like, that's what they know. You don't get it. And I'm not trying to, but that's why we laugh when we see things like homosexuals for Palestine, because you have no clue what Palestine represents and what they're after. And I guarantee you, they do not support homosexuals. I mean, you can believe and write whatever you want here, but if you went and did what you do here over in Palestine, you would no longer be smelling the daisies. You'd be gone. You'd be disappeared. You'd be done.
Yeah.
And nobody would say a word about you or wonder what happened. And that's the reality of why this country's great. The rest of the world is something. At the end of the day, you know,
it's not because of who or what we are.
Yeah.
It's because of what we can be.
Yes.
And the fact that we can change and become
absolutely
what we want to be and be better, and not be tied up in class systems, like you said. You know, we can't fathom a culture where your father's career is what you have to follow, and you have no choice. Period.
Yeah.
No social, mobility.
And to be honest, this is when people say things like, well, we should just make everybody do this. And it's like, yeah, that's the mindset that turned you into Russia. That's the mindset that, or Soviet Union, I should say. Well, Russia too, for that matter. What am I talking about? Yeah. And China and these dictatorships or communist regimes. That's just, that's the nature. I mean, the biggest example I ever see on the difference between communism and capitalism is Korea.
Oh goodness!
Go look at just even the simple little things like a night picture, like an aerial satellite photo night picture of Korea. North Korea is dark. South Korea is lit up and everything, and that's because there's capitalism. There's people pushing the envelope towards technology and growth and trying to make happy things. Where communism, that's not their jam. That's not what they do. And then you look at North Korea, and it looks like something. Look at Korea or Cuba. Why do you think Cuba still has? They're driving cars from the 50s, and because communism does not. That's communism. They literally freeze in time, and they everyone's equal. And people are getting power, but it ain't you. It's someone else.
Too much government tends to do things,
but
to slow things up. And
I know I got way off on a tangent here, but this is at the gist of why this country's great. And and this is back to that patriotism. Yeah, standing, wearing an American flag, everything, and standing out and doing all that's. I don't know if I'd call that patriotism. I mean, I get it. You love your country and all that too, but actually, from military perspective, all you folks wearing American flag shirts and all that stuff, you're actually disrespecting the flag. But that's another story for another day. But
and it happens to be a felony.
but it's and that's what and being an American really is, when it's time to question. When it's but being living and doing the things you want to do without impeding on someone else's freedoms, that's what this country is about. As long as your freedoms and your dreams don't negatively impact someone else to present them to do them, then you should be able to do that in this country. And that's the platform that they try to set up here. It's kind of, where the government needs to set the table to allow people to do their dreams and just not only get in the way when it gets to a point that they're monopolizing or doing something that inhibits someone else. And the devil's in the details and all that, but that's where communism versus capitalism starts muddying into things, where, the people that are going to let you do more to do what you want are leaning towards capitalism. The ones that are going to be like, yeah, you can do it, but only if you got 12 credits to do this and that and all these other things, that's when you start leaning into socialist and communist type government.
And that comes with overregulation, no doubt about it. I talked to an American doctor who married a lady from Switzerland, and he went over and lived there for a while, and he got a $50 ticket for putting his trash out on the wrong day.
Yeah, see, that's that. And to be honest, there's cities in this country that are getting like that. You know what I mean? That's what
For putting your trash out on the wrong day.
And then and again, that's the
He
point.
was leaving town.
Yeah.
And he put it out a day in advance and got hauled before the local magistrate and had to pay a $50 fine.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of nonsense.
There's no freedom in that canton in Switzerland.
Yeah.
If they regulate you that much.
Exactly.
You see, the difference between them and us is we can change that without having a revolution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They can't.
you gotta basically dethrone the powers that be to do it.
Right.
Whereas we have a constitution that allows us to vote in those people. So again, that's why I always, when it comes election time, your vote is never wasted. It's always that's your power. That is your most powerful tool you have as an American citizen to affect change the way you like to see it. And so take it seriously and do all that. I know we got way off on a tangent here, but we got about 10 minutes where we gotta go. 5-10 minutes here. But
we need members.
We'd love to, if you're a veteran or a spouse of a veteran. We have our American Legion Post 61 family. We have 3 different branches of our family. We have our Legionnaires, which are they're the ones that are the veterans that served. We have our auxiliary, and those are the spouses of the veterans. By the way, it can be men. I know, veterans are women. We have several female veterans. We have 1 or 2 male auxiliary members. So there's no rules on that one. There's only one division that does have a gender rule. That's our sons. And that's our 3rd branch, the Sons of American Legion. And you have to be a son, male descendant of a veteran, whether it's your grandparent, grandfather, or grandmother, or mother or father, but you have to be the male descendant of a veteran.
I qualify for all 3.
I do too. Yeah. My dad was a veteran. My grandfather was a veteran. I'm a veteran. And, well, I don't qualify for auxiliary. He's not a veteran, so I can't be auxiliary. So 2 of the 3. So good deal. But we'd love to have you. We meet on the first Thursday of every month. We actually pretty much meet every Thursday at the First United Methodist Church. Every Thursday night about 5:36, they usually get together. Our auxiliary usually has craft projects. They're working on either Charity Bears or Quilts for Valor or one of our various other projects they got going on. But the first Thursday of every month, we meet at 6 p.m. Our Legionnaires and our auxiliary and sons all meet there at the First United Methodist Church, 6 p.m. So it won't be, I guess it'll be next Thursday, huh? I think, sure enough, I think next Thursday is our first. So it'll be next Thursday. We invite you to come on out to our meeting here and join us. So, and if you want to get involved, we're always looking for more volunteers to serve and to help out here. And yes, we are serve as far as we like to get in and do our thing, but we're a social group too. We like to hang out and
they're actually kind of fun guys.
Yeah. We don't do the bar thing, but that's just us. If you do American Legion Post 28, they've got their own post with a bar and everything. So if that's your scene, then I highly recommend you go check them out. But we don't do all that there. And so if that's something you're not, because I know some people are like, no, I don't want to do the drinking and all that. Okay. We don't, that's not our post. So, but, is there anything we missed? Anything else we need to get? I know I got windbaggy and soapboxy and all that, but
no.
Anything we missed? Oh, a thing to put on people's radar. Getting back to that education side. In February, and we'll be back to tell more about it, but the end of February, that last Sunday in February, I don't remember the date off the
4
top of my head.
chaplains, right?
Yes, our 4 chaplains ceremony. This is a ceremony we do every year. I've talked about it on this show multiple times, but it is the story of the USS Dorchester and the sinking of the Dorchester, and 4 military chaplains that went down with the ship and saved the lives of 100-plus crew members by calmly getting people, praying, getting people off the ship, giving up their own life jackets and their own equipment to other sailors so that they could survive, while these 4 chaplains literally died doing their duty. And so because of the weirdness of the time frame of that particular incident versus they didn't qualify for the Medal of Honor because technically it wasn't officially in wartime yet or something. I don't know all the details there, but for whatever reason, they do not qualify for the Medal of Honor. Does not mean they're not worthy of it. They are. But they get the other distinguished medals. But we do this to honor their sacrifice and their, that story is the epitome of military and the life of and the brotherhood and what it all means. And so every February, around the time of the incident, the Dorchester incident that took place in February, we do
in the North Atlantic.
Yes, in the North Atlantic.
So
we do this ceremony.
45 minutes was how long you were expected to survive in the water.
Yeah. Good luck with that. At frigid temperatures and things like that. Think of this as like a military version of a Titanic kind of thing.
Yeah.
But all hands would have been lost had it not been for these four chaplains, and people got to go home from that incident because of those four chaplains. So we tell that story, and as we get closer, we'll do the story. It'll be at First United Methodist Church that last Sunday of February there at 3 p.m. But I know people got 20 things on their radar right now, but put that bee in your bonnet. We would love to invite you to come out and be a part of that. That's the one thing that makes me mad. And I say mad, and that's not the right word, disappointed. I talk about that thing, and I want to get people, and every year we only get a handful of people that come to it. Because it's a free event. It's about 40 minutes, and let's face it, there's no flames or explosions or nothing. So.
Well, it's kind of a gloomy subject, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is dealing with a very somber occasion. But I think it's a story that every American should know. So
I agree with that very much.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many communities in America have this. I was invited to one once.
If they have a pretty active Legion post in town, they probably have that ceremony somewhere in there.
Yeah, and these guys weren't.
Yeah.
They were just part of the 3 chaplains?
Okay.
Association.
Okay. Matter of fact, if you go to our VA facility in Albuquerque, they've got a amazing artwork piece on the 4 chaplains there in the lobby there. It's a beautiful piece of art there. So if you ever have a hankering to go down there to do that. So good deal. But I just saw the time. We probably should wrap this up. Is there anything, Ted? We
didn't talk about split pea soup. Do you have an Instant Pot at home?
We do. We do have an Instant Pot at home.
I've got an Instant Pot recipe for split pea soup.
If you send it to me, I'd be ever grateful, because that's top 5 favorite soups is split pea.
Yeah.
We do have a little ham right now. We got a ham bone sitting in a refrigerator, just hankering for something to do with it.
My mom's Dutch, and they're raised on it.
I love split pea. Clam chowder, New England, not Manhattan. Split pea soup. Those are my top 2 seeds, probably. I love a good chicken corn chowder too.
Ooh. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah. Chicken and dumplings is pretty good. Yeah, but I'm a soup guy. But split pea and New England clam chowder, those are my top seeds right there. Cream of crab, of course.
But of course, yeah.
Of course, most people don't do that around here. But I think we talked about that. That was my time in the Air Force. I've had more bowls of split pea and ham soup, because that was kind of the go-to. Like if there wasn't really anything going on at the chow hall, they always had the things of soup sitting there.
Yeah.
And there's always split pea with ham. I'm like, oh, what is that thing? I don't know. We're going with the soup.
The way a lot of ex-military guys can't stand Spam. I'm not one of them, but ex-military Germans can't stand split pea soup because they get lots of that.
Is that their version of SOS?
It's even worse. It's in their field rations.
Oh, wow.
Just add water.
Oh, yummy. I'm sure that's a delight.
Oh, coming from a factory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, it's like green water with, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I got to stop thinking of that, because I won't like split pea if I think of that version. So, but thank you, Ted. As always, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you and your family. And we look forward to seeing you here in 2024.
Hoorah. There I was.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Mike.
Anytime. Appreciate it, Ted. Take care.
Ugh.
All right. It is 9:55. Let's do a quick break before news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now, your Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Cirillo. An Artesia man who was arrested and charged with the October 13th burglary of a vehicle and theft of 2 guns has now been scheduled for trial. A criminal complaint was filed this past week against 29-year-old David Daniel Aguilar, alleging that he stole a Springfield pistol and a 12-gauge shotgun. Aguilar was released on a $7,500 bond. He was scheduled for a preliminary hearing in Artesia Magistrate Court today. In another case, a trial got started Tuesday against a former oil field worker accused of killing his roommate in May of last year. Tevin Morissette is accused of killing Avery Weathers at the oil rig where the two lived. The first day of trial featured jury selection and opening statements. The first witness was a man who told police he witnessed the shooting. Morissette is facing 15 years in state prison if convicted for second-degree murder. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Shares have advanced in overseas equities markets, tracking gains on Wall Street after U.S. financial markets reopened following the Christmas break. It is a holiday-shortened week for Wall Street, and it's expected to be a quiet one to close out the year, with little in the way of new economic data or corporate earnings reports. Chinese video gaming companies partially recovered in their first Hong Kong trading session, following government efforts to ease market concerns over new draft regulations for the industry, but the gains were dwarfed by Friday's losses. Seattle-based online retailer Zulily is closing down, taking customers by surprise and laying off hundreds of employees after attempts to salvage the business fell short. The retailer says it will try to fill all outstanding orders, providing refunds for orders that can't be fulfilled. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
'Tis the season of savings at Big O Tires. Unwrap peace of mind this holiday season with trusted tires and auto service from your locally owned and operated Roswell Big O Tires. Now through January 7th, save up to $140 on select sets after mail-in rebate. All with multiple financing options available for any budget and any situation. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:59. That's going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, I invite you to check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. You can watch whenever you feel like it, and you can watch them in the convenience of your underpants. There's no rules on that. Unless you're in a restaurant, then maybe put some clothes on. But if you're at your home, you do you. And, of course, don't forget Pocorn and the Goddard Holiday Tournaments. They start today as well. KSVPTV.com will have all the games there. We'll only have announcers for the Roswell, Goddard, and Artesia matchups. All the other matchups will have video for, but no announcers. So you can call them yourself. Maybe you want to practice your inner Howard Cosell. You can work on those. All right, we got to go. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.